It's Friday, kids. That means it's time for Midnight's Edge in the morning. Welcome, one and all. I'm Tom Connors. With me, as always, is the boss man, Andre. How are you doing?
Hey, I am doing good. Thanks for asking. And I hope all of you are doing good out there on this lovely Friday morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. Of course, we also have to acknowledge that today isn't awesome for everyone. There are some people having a really hard time in a certain country in Eastern Europe that we cannot mention any further because another country that we can't mention because this platform doesn't like it is giving them something of a rough time. So our thoughts are with that, of course, as should you all. But we will not be talking too much about that because we have other things going on this Friday. We have Galactic Star Cruiser and more happening, and joining us to talk about all of that is the lovely how's it going?
Very good. It's great to be here this Friday with you all. Thank you for having me again.
And we're also joined, as you saw there, by Cultured Casino. How's it going, my friend?
Fantastic. Really well. Great for me. But again, as you pointed out, lots of other things going on in the world. So we'll probably have a little more, I guess, muted approach to things today. But
our thoughts and prayers are with those in need.
Yes.
But as for us here on the panel, we are brought by the ever awesome Mike Mexican, the Iron Man. How's it going?
I'm here to offer up a Arriba Galactica in honor of Disney opening its hotel, bringing the diversity and inclusion. Arriba Galactica.
All right.
And then, of course, Tom. How's it going?
I have nothing to add to this Star Wars crap.
And I do believe that you're probably expressing exactly how excited the majority are for Star Wars Galactic Cruiser. But still, it's another example of Disney once again winning all the way. And those
I've never been to Disney World or Disneyland, and I'll tell you right now, the last thing I would do is spend couple $1,000 to do this shit.
Yeah.
Well, some people evidently are willing to do that, although it boggles the mind why anyone would want to, if you ask me. But now we know a little bit more about what they will get for their 6,000 a person ticket.
It's worse than we thought. Actually, it's more like 2,000 or whatever, but yeah.
So yeah, also on that note, we have a couple of super chats here. Callum Lyle says, you know that scene in Family Guy when Disney tells Minnie Mouse to strip in front of him? That's how I see Disney now. So yeah, bend over, I guess. And Darius Münchhausen sent us a $1.49 super sticker, so thank you so much for that. And we are joined by loads of lovely people out here. We have D. Button Martin watching. We have Dash Attack. Knut is here. Sander Hammerslag is here. Mariella Neuwirth is here. And she says even, here we go. Smash it and share the stream. Hail chat. Yes, indeed. We would be most grateful if you could smash that like and help share the stream, because that really, really helps us out. Rob Altus is here and says happy Friday. And we also have one with my favorite username, Waddle These Nuts is here saying hail. Yes, indeed. Hail one, hail all. Jason Gallagher wonders, no Cam. No, unfortunately, Kamran Pasha is otherwise occupied today. So he will be back again next Friday. But for today, we will have to manage without his sagedom. But join us. I'm sure that he'll be back next Friday, or maybe even on Toxic Femininity on Monday, because he pops in there every once in a while as well, actually fairly regularly. As does so I'm sure he can tell us more about that.
Definitely.
Yeah. And new guy Drew also says for $5, best part of being stuck at home with COVID is being able to catch you all live. It has been far too long. Oh, I'm so glad you could catch us live. I'm not at all happy about what it took to be able to do so, but hopefully you're doing okay, and we wish you a speedy recovery. I believe I speak for the panel in saying that.
Spoilers were just like we are in the replay.
Yeah, but now you actually get to send messages in and stuff. You don't get to do that in the replay. So there is that. And then we have Mickey Rooney who is here. We have Jeff C is here. John C. Pola is here. Mark Goes Dark Side is here. And Xenomorph is here, among many others. So that's awesome. Dr. Long Dongwood also sent us a £1.99 super sticker. And with that, maybe we can start getting into the current affairs after the
I'd rather not
scenes.
Hey, Steven.
And Steven says, "Hail Midnight's Edge in chat. At work, we'll catch the replay." Oh, well, I'm sure plenty others will as well. So for those watching the replay, let's get into the topic that Tom is so anticipating, namely
oh, you mean Quentin Tarantino?
Cruiser.
Oh, never mind.
I will get into Tarantino afterwards.
Well, that's not even really that big of a story. It's like I have no shits to give about the Star Cruiser. I'd rather talk about the real non-story is that Quentin Tarantino is going to be directing a couple episodes of the Justified sequel, prequel show, whatever. Other than that, he's narrating some Uber show on Showtime. Yay. I'm more excited about that.
You're like,
okay,
you know, when you say Andre... When you don't say Andre is dead inside, Star Wars is dead inside you, Tom.
Yeah.
I have no plans on watching either of those. I'm just like, good for Quentin.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I might eventually get around to Justified, but...
But you love Quentin Tarantino.
I do, but like, I've never seen Justified. And this other thing is like a Showtime show about Uber. I don't know if it's a documentary or a TV show about how Uber got started or something like that, but he's supposed to be the narrator. I have no idea. So, yeah. I'd rather watch Quentin Tarantino at Star Cruiser.
You know what would be funny? Because I should take you to the Galactic Hotel, except they'd have to give us 2 beds, Tom, because we're not sharing that 1 bed this summer.
He'd be like,
actually, you would be sharing because ain't no way that I'm buying two rooms on that thing.
That's right next to
Quentin Tarantino went.
Wait,
awesome,
you would
because he'd be like,
you would go with Quentin Tarantino to the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, but you wouldn't go with me?
Well, I probably would go with you and Quentin, but Quentin would be awesome because he'd narrate the whole thing and blast.
Yeah, I'd still only buy the 1 room for the 3 of you, so you'd get to spend loads of quality time together. And also on that note, Anthony, YouTube fan, he says, "Hello, Andre, Tom, Mike, Culture, and so when are you guys getting your tickets for the Star Wars space cruise? No?" And as I said, yeah, even if Quentin Tarantino would join, I'd still only get you guys 1 room for that. And even that, I'd be reluctant to pay.
Whew, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And to finish off the Quentin Tarantino discussion, Brightest Day also said, "Justified is one of my favorite shows ever. Recommend it. I've heard good things about it. Never seen it, but I've heard good things."
He'd be like, "This was stupid, okay? I could spend my time better than this. And $2,000, I could get blown by a hooker and get some coke for $2,000 and be more excited."
That's true.
And also something entirely different. So just since I can get it up screen here now, Professor Grace says, "Mike, I want your reaction to the Alf reboot."
What reboot?
Wait, what?
Is something happening with the Alf reboot? Is it back to life again?
Shout Factory. Shout Factory acquired the Alf thing that it looked like they were just going to be doing like a re-release and deleted, scenes and stuff like that. But somebody's pushing this idea that they're basically going to reboot it and put it out there for the modern world.
Oh, no.
Is it a reboot or a continuation? That's like the first question.
Yeah, it was real sketchy when I was like trying to find materials on it, but it was very odd. Very odd.
Well, I got
Indeed.
from Vulture here. It
Because
says
I see right here, yeah, exactly. I see the Vulture thing too, and
because Paul Fusco won't allow anybody but him to do Elf. Like it's like there's this certain special rules and specific rules that to go by, and that's
like,
why a bunch of these reboots got killed before.
Yeah,
because he refuses to let anybody else do it.
Which is understandable in a way. And
he won't even allow you to photograph him with Elf. He has this big thing about Elf has to appear to be real, no matter what.
Exactly. And also, one of the rules when dealing with Elf is that Elf can never ever be referred to as a puppet. Like it's him. He's a real actor, and the 3 people required to operate him are just like. They ideally shouldn't even mix with anyone else, so that
they're actually
everyone sees
credited as his
Elf
assistants.
Person.
They're actually credited as his assistants in the credits.
Okay,
exactly.
Wait, serious?
I'm dead fucking serious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for real, for sure, for real, absolutely.
Like Paul Fusco takes this shit extremely seriously. This is in his contracts.
Yeah,
with Elf. Like,
whenever Elf appears,
100%.
this is there. It's like Elf is a person, and his assistants are to be left alone when they tend to Elf's needs, and then no one else can be on set. And that set, by the way, is a death trap, so that Elf's assistants can freely move around there, and so to assist Elf in moving around, which is a big part of the reason why the cast of the original Elf series had such a miserable time. Because one thing is that they were all playing second fiddle to, again, you were not allowed to use the term puppet, but they were all playing second fiddle to Elf. And shooting was always hell because Elf needed so many assistants. And also the entire set, like they were like literally walking just on the
trapdoors and shit everywhere.
Trapdoors and everything. And like if they stepped out of line, they'd fall like 6 feet flat on their face, because the entire set,
a couple times,
the entire set is what normal people would call a death trap.
Well,
and it would usually take 2 to 3 times as long to film a normal episode of a TV than it would a normal episode of a TV show because of it.
Yeah,
but no, Andre is 100% right. Like even on the set, the actors were not allowed to refer to Elf or talk to any of the assistants and shit like that. They thought it was really weird. And they told this story way back when, and I thought they were full of shit. And then I come to find out, no, it's fucking true.
Oh, it's absolutely true. Basically, the way that they were to consider it was that Elf was a diva. And as a diva, he needed to be left alone between scenes and everything like that. And so were his assistants.
Yikes!
And everyone had to vacate the set when Alf decided to move either to or away from the set. Then everyone else had to be away from it first and stuff. So yeah. But
because I will say Jim Henson, who wouldn't care if you photographed him with Kermit. Yeah, Paul would not and never do like a talk show as himself with the puppet. Like it always had to be as Alf. Yeah. He wouldn't do it any other way, and you could not see him or any of the puppeteers or anything like that.
But this thing with Chow, before we get into the Galactic Star Cruiser thing,
it sounds like
unedited episodes. Well, they released the unedited episodes.
I hope
because the episodes of Alf that you can get on DVD in the US, they are not the original broadcast episodes. They've all been cut by 3 to 4 minutes for syndication. So some of those episodes, they don't make too much sense because they cut away critical points.
They're missing whole scenes and shit.
Yeah, the only, to my awareness, there may be more, but to my awareness, the only set of complete episodes are those that were released on DVD in Germany. Again, leave it to the Germans.
You are correct.
To completely salvage everything to do with home media releases, apart from remastering. Don't leave that to them. And yeah, I know some people are going to counter, oh, well, this release or that release. I race you one Oliver Krekel. And the Germans get some amazing releases, just not the remasters. But yeah, so you want Alf, then so right now you want the German releases because that is actually uncut. I'll hook you up with that, Mike, if you want it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be waiting with bated breath. Not like I'm about as excited for Alf as I think Tom is to talk about the new hotel at Disney World.
Oh, you don't like Elf?
No,
Well, Alf rules.
no,
Elf's awesome.
no, he does not rule. It was the dumbest show I'd ever seen in my entire life at the time, and the fact that it got so.
Okay, we need to move on with that.
Wow.
Wait, did I get canceled?
Briefly.
Wait, what happened? I disappeared. Where'd I go?
Briefly
I
canceled.
couldn't deal with that negativity.
Tom, wait, what? We're about to talk about the Galactic Star Cruiser. We don't even
That's
know
true.
negativity yet.
I can shut my brain off for that.
Hashtag
That is
Mexican
so true.
canceled. Hashtag diversity and inclusion. Hashtag ESG.
This is how much Tom
Andre.
loves Elf, okay? I'm sitting here this morning debating, do I want to get 2 of the new NECA Elf figures so I can open one,
Oh,
or just get one?
no. Oh, God. And those things were around my house. My little sisters and cousins, and they come over and each one would have one, and everybody had one. They
It
were
sounds
there.
like
They
someone
were there.
got
The damn things-
overexposed to Alf.
They were like freaking tribbles for a while. Everybody loved it. Everybody had to watch it. Everybody, Alf is on. Come on, let's go. Everybody's going to eat the dinner together, and everybody's going to watch Alf. And I'm sitting there like, what the? Golly.
Mike,
What?
show us on the
Lord.
Alf puppet where Alf hurt you.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh,
Well, I don't know.
I don't think
yeah,
I've ever met someone who didn't like Alf before.
It was a
oh,
popular show. It was
so
everywhere.
I mean, and the beauty is that there was like this sadness to it because he was acting like a buffoon, but he was just acting out because his planet was gone.
Yeah, he
I mean,
was
Oh my God,
was
are we
like-
going to have the conversation about his loss of his people and that whole thing that I had to listen to once before? Many times?
It was like that one time when he was like in his laundry basket
Oh.
because his only bed was the laundry basket, and he was like looking at the stars, and he asked like Willie, his like a functional stepdad, like, yeah, you see that empty blot of sky over there? Yeah,
Okay,
that's
you know what?
That's where Melmac used to be.
Okay, you know what? Then today I adopt the Andre's Heart Dead Inside for Alf team. I'm wearing that shirt today. Alf is dead. You know what? If I had a little Alf right now, I'd bang him against the freaking wall. That guy was so annoying. He was like in the living room. He was in the thing. Everybody had an Alf doll. Everywhere you went, it was Alf. Like, oh my God. And then here was the worst part. The next day, did you see last night's episode of what happened with Alf? No, yes. Well, no, it was on in the living room, but I chose to ignore it. And like, well, you should have seen it because
Whoa, share your feelings there.
God, so annoying. Whoever created that is the most wasted puppet, most wasted use of cotton for a puppet all time. Academy Award, own category, Lifetime Achievement Award. All right,
Actually, no, I wouldn't be surprised if Alf did get a Lifetime Achievement Award. On
He
the
probably
next year's
was
Oscar,
at the
but-
Academy Awards once or twice, in like announcing an award or something.
Was
Yeah.
Alf even on the list today? Oh no, you don't, Tom. Tom Connors Jr. I see you, Tom. I see you. Okay, just for that, I'll be right back. Put the phone right back. Come on.
Oh my God! Yeah, STR Red Wolf. He gets it. He says, "Someone get Mexican Iron Man a bottle of tequila." Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah,
right.
at least. Wow, he's still raging
My
in the
God,
background.
how many Alfs do you have?
There was a lot of these. Huh. Actually, I think there's more than these. I only got a few of them. There's a bunch of them they did. And then they did some more after this.
I'm coming, Tom.
I got one to cook rabbit chickens for you. Here you go.
Ah! All right,
Oh
you want to
my
do this? We're doing this. We're doing this. I will see your elf, and I will up you one rabbit chicken. And that rabbit chicken is ready for battle, buddy. He's coming with the lightsaber.
Well, he better be, because Alf likes to eat cats, but I'm sure he'd drop them in a heartbeat for rabbit chicken.
I'm sure he would.
That's right. Of course, the world's best pussy eater would be from out of this world. Ha! I couldn't help it.
Oh my
Oh
god.
gosh, my face is hurting.
Clifton says, Mike, do what Ass did to Baby Yoda. I'm afraid to ask, because I don't even know, to be honest.
I turned the channel off when he started to.
I guess he ripped one apart and made Nina cry or something like that.
Yeah, he made Nina cry. Now, see, I would never do that to Baby Yoda, but I'll do that with Alf if you give me one. God, they were everywhere.
Mike's angry.
They were.
That's what
Sander,
happens when
you're not wrong. I do love to poke. I love poking bears.
Especially Mexican ones. And Cardinal Sin also says, Hail, Andre, Midnight Sun, Tom, Mexican Ironman, just a kid from Brooklyn, Pat S, Sanderhammerslag, Olaf Van Ness, Fantu 5692, Xenomorph, D-Bud Martin, Carrie's Culture Casino, Rob Altis, and Master Clockwork. Yeah,
hail to you, Cardinal Sin.
That's an awesome gang of people right there. And thanks for the $20 donation, Cardinal Sin. Nothing is more awesome than greeting your friends that way.
But basically, it sounds like with this elf thing, it doesn't specify if they're going to remaster the episodes at all. I mean, it was shot on video, to my knowledge. But you're right, Andre. It's been edited for the syndicated versions are all we've been able to get for years. But it sounds like they're going to start streaming them on Shout Factory, along with the animated show, which that's never been released in its full episodes either, just like a handful. But they're also going to do an aggressive rollout of elf pop culture content later this year.
Oh, I look forward to Mike's reaction to that.
Streaming the original series and animated series, as well as developing all new elf-related content and digital media initiatives, said series creators Paul Fusco and Tom Patchett. So he's involved. So hold your cats close, it says here.
Hold on to your rabbit chickens, because someone's going to want to eat them.
It would be nice, though, if they went back and remastered them as best they could.
Yeah, that would be nice.
No,
Yeah. And also Rob Altis, he says, Andre, maybe Mike needs to watch the last 15 minutes of the Alf.
It's sad he doesn't get to go home.
Come back and report on it. Mike,
you don't know how this show ends, do you?
Oh, I don't. I can't.
Do you know how the series ends?
No, I can't do that. No, I don't, and I can't do that.
It ends on a cliffhanger.
I don't have Alf on DVD, and I just forgot my Amazon password and my Netflix password and my Paramount password.
I'll send you the set. Don't worry.
What?
Mike, I think that you probably would be greatly cheered up if you saw the first episode and the last episode of Alf back to back.
He doesn't get to go anywhere.
Spoilers?
I'm not gonna watch. I'm not, dude.
He gets caught by the alien task force.
My little sister.
Yeah, okay. I'll spoil you just to let you know how much you'd like it. Like in the very first episode, Alf. We are told that Alf, he needs to seek refuge with the Tannins, because if he doesn't, Earth's alien task force will get him, and they will torture him, and they will dissect him alive. They will vivisect him to learn how he works and everything. That's why they give him refuge. You know how the series ends in the very final episode? He's caught. He's caught by the alien space force.
Oh.
The end. There the series ends.
Actually, there was more to it, but
that's that's years later. That's where the series ends. It was supposed to end on a cliffhanger, and there was no part 2 to it.
Oh, good. So he dies in the end? Awesome.
Within canon up till that point, yeah, kind of.
Sweet. I'm in.
Then there was Project Elf.
Yeah, but the less we talk about that, the better.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a backdoor pilot that never happened. That was what the
I was in
season
such
they
a
were going
good
to
movie.
switch to that though. Didn't you know that, Andre? Like,
Yeah, I know.
everybody's
It was a
contract
backdoor
was up.
pilot, and that never really happened. Oh, something
Yeah,
that may
that was
cheer.
what they were
But
going
we
to
have
do with
something
season
that
5.
may cheer Mike up here. Callum Lyle also says they released a preview for CGI He-Man season 2. So at least you have that to
Oh,
look
we
forward
talked about
to.
this on Mead the other night, Tom. I saw the first 2, or did we talk about it on Midnight Sets the other day? I can't remember.
I think you talked about it the other day.
I saw the first 2, and I'm not in. It's not my He-Man, Andre. Everybody's telling me, Mike, it's okay.
I can believe it.
Mike, stick with it. It's gonna turns us. Man, you know what? I'm enjoying the rejuvenate. I'm
It
watching
takes
my
5
Midnight.
episodes apparently before it gets good.
Well, I don't have 5 episodes. I got other things to do. I got rabbit chickens to raise and farm in. I'd rather watch Andre's retrospectives that he does with Tom. I'd rather watch Midnight Edge videos, and I'd rather bask in the glory of what I love already and not this crap.
I raised an eyebrow too when Tom said backdoor to Latino.
What backdoor? Wait, what?
Because he said backdoor.
Whose backdoor? Not mine. What?
Well,
did we
maybe
get this
Alf's
super chat
backdoor,
from?
but yeah.
Did we get this one from Dakaiju Gamer?
Yeah, no. And Daikaiju Gamer says, greetings all, despite the current attack on a country we cannot say out loud because otherwise we'll get deranked. I hope everything is going well. The Lord of the Rings fandom must continue to gatekeep the leftoids. And yeah, actually, like all the fans are accused of gatekeeping, and it's complete bullcrap. If anything, we haven't been gatekeeping anywhere nearly enough. So yeah, let's more gatekeeping. And with that, Matthew W. says that Mexican Iron Man Alf retrospective is coming soon.
Oh no!
Don't tempt us. I didn't know Andre was that big of a fan.
Yeah, I can always surprise
Tom, the right answer is the problem with that suggestion, Matthew, is that we are currently so many videos behind at Midnight's Edge that we will never be able to get to that.
There is that. There is that. And with that, as Jeff W. says, let us get into the first main topic at hand, namely Galactic Star Cruiser. We have seen some images, and some of us have been following these news relatively closely. So now, when we've seen some pictures, we have some reports. Cultured, are you overwhelmed with excitement with what we've seen? Or are indeed any of you overwhelmed?
That's his reaction right there.
Culture, was that your reaction?
I think so.
This is the this man. This is like, hey, let's learn the Cotton Eye Joe.
This ain't Cotton Eye Joe. This is fucking line dancing.
Yep.
I feel like this is what they pay $6,000 for.
It's the
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I mean, what's
Slides is
that
right.
dancing called? I mean, to me, that's always, if I were to call like where's their Western hats? Because
it's
when I
basically
see
the
dancing
electric
like
slide.
that,
Yes.
I don't know what it's called. I would just call it like cowboy Western hillbilly dancing. And where are
basically
their cowboy hats
dancing,
and like
yes.
6-shooters around their belt?
All right.
Okay, when I was young, there was a song that used to play on the radio that my dad loved, and it was like something like got big strong teeth, big strong legs. I love her like my horse, something like that, right? So I think they need some music, some country western music. Got big strong lightsaber, not rider like my bantha.
No, it's don't break my heart, my achy breaky heart. I just don't understand.
No, don't break my lightsaber, I'm achy breaky lightsaber. I'm gonna ride a bantha today.
Did you guys in the States, was the song Cotton Eye Joe ever released there?
Yeah,
I wondered because it's actually a Swedish song. It was a
it.
Swedish group that released it, but it's like,
where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you
that's
go
the one.
from?
It looks like they're kind of like dancing to that there. I mean, that's the last thing I would expect for Star Wars.
It looks more like the
Slide
electric
to the
slide,
left.
but yes.
Slide to the right. Now do the cha-cha. That's what that is.
Cha-cha real smooth.
That's right. Go to work.
I was a DJ. Please don't.
Tom's
Or
like,
a
I have
dance
heard this.
routine. She's forcing them to do a dance routine.
I
Oh,
have
that's
been
weird.
about Cotton Eye Joe,
sorry.
Macarena,
Culture.
fucking
Okay.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Cupid Shuffle, Electric Slided Out.
What?
What?
I
I've never
am.
even been there
Do I have to
yet.
repeat that?
No, I'm
No.
gonna tell you. You know, you got to just do it with a Galactic.
I have
method.
been Macarena, Cotton Eye Joe, Cupid Shuffled, and Electric Slided Out.
5, 6,
I was
7,
a DJ.
8.
I played them so many times every weekend. You have no idea. And YMCA. If I ever hear YMCA again, it'll be too goddamn soon.
Lighting my lightsaber. Da, 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 da. Hey, I'm a Skywalker.
Oh God, don't do that.
Okay, stop.
Maybe you could hear like the Norwegian remake of the
Aye.
All right, what else?
There's actually a Norwegian Macarena song.
No, but there is a Norwegian YMCA.
Really?
Oh,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why MCA?
And it's even like a cowboy western version of it.
Oh Lord.
Hey, macadamias.
Okay, so now did I see this
Yeah.
other thing here? Culture is they're playing bingo at this fucking thing too.
Yeah, it's
So this is
something-
basically an old folks' home, is what it looks like.
Wait. Tom, do we have a video of them playing
Yeah,
bingo?
I'll try and find it. I
This
think
is what
Script
this is
Doctor
about.
shared it.
they're trying to draw people in for their even bigger project, the retirement community. I'm sorry, that community they're building that will
You're
cost
right.
like $2 million
Cotino.
for like a 1,000 square foot unit, and you'll have to pay for parking. That's what they're pulling everybody in for. It's nothing
Contino.
to do
I
with
want to
the
see the
Star
gaming.
Cruise.
I want to see the action-packed gaming area. Come on, Tom. Where's that at? Do I have to
You know,
find
they could have put a casino in. They didn't.
That would have been great.
They
Oh,
I
played
don't
a
have the
lounge.
bingo video, but Trunk 3PO just posted this here a little bit ago here. There we go.
Let's see. Let's see some action. Oh, I saw this.
Wait. Okay, so that's where she switches to the physical lightsaber. So
Put the
because
lightsaber on the floor, though. Isn't that
Right,
like
go back and
not
show that.
real?
I want to show that. I'm a lightsaber expert. I own 30 lightsabers in my collection.
check out that kick. I feel like I'm
watch.
watching
So
this.
she does this.
Wait.
Watch.
Why is it not?
No,
Whoa,
she
whoa,
Puts it
whoa,
down,
whoa,
picks up the other one. Okay,
Yeah.
What?
right there.
Oh, because she doesn't have. she's two different
Because
lightsabers.
they can't break that. They have two of them,
right.
and
The
they
battle
won't.
ready
And
one
they,
What's
and the one
funny-
that looks pretty.
and they don't retract.
What's funny is there's only like 5
That's a
people
little
actually
different hand
cheering.
gesture.
Okay,
And
now
I'm
watch
being
this.
generous about that because I'm maybe hearing 2 voices, 3 at most.
Well, the actors better enjoy the size of the crowd right now when Disney has paid for influencers to come and attend it. Because
Oh,
there's going to
really?
be far less crowd later. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the
And,
stuff that people attending now are influencers, paid
Yeah.
influencers.
Yeah. But and at least one of the drop effects work here.
It's literally just a few random voices.
Who
Like,
do they have
yeah.
playing Kylo? He looks so small compared to her. Like he's enormous.
He's
Why
tall.
does he look so tiny? Yeah, he looks like a
Dude,
child. almost.
he looks like if go back show him again real quick, Tom. Just you don't have to play it, you can just still
It's
image it.
weird.
But if you look at the guy who's playing Kylo Ren, like if you physically look at him when he's in the lightsaber battle, does he not look like the Darth Vader proportion from Spaceballs?
Yes.
Like watch this. Watch
He's
this,
so
everybody.
small. Look at
Look.
him. Ooh, we touched sabers.
Now look at his head.
Ooh.
Look at his head compared to his body. Look at that. Am I
Oh,
watching
right. My
Scream?
God, that's
Am I
Dark
watching
Helmet.
Spaceballs?
We touched sabers. You know what this means, Kylo.
By the way, those lightsabers they're using are the super cheap, sucky ones.
So they're not battle ready.
Oh
No.
hell no! You want to see battle ready? I'll show you battle ready. Right off
Ooh.
my wall. I'm grabbing this right off my wall live. Right here. This is battle ready right here.
Like
Yeah.
even his costume is too big for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I can't get over that huge bucket on his head.
Well,
You're right. That was Dark Helmet.
Is that the battle ready one, Mexican? I am.
This is solid metal. This thing's you can drop this thing off the roof and the thing will just. I mean, this is
Yeah.
like boy, this took me like 3 months to get. This thing's badass.
Nice.
That looks like something I found in my mom's drawer.
oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
possibly.
It's an automatic ear cleaner, she told me.
I'm sure she's grateful that you're sharing that. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Of course.
What you didn't see is like the scene leading into that, where Kylo like is force choking somebody on that gangway, and notice how they position the actors up overhead to control, you know, what you see during the course of everything. I mean, that's, you know, one of the effects that they're using to like do that. It's how they hide the projection techniques and stuff like that, and the Pepper's ghost effects and they use and everything else. They put the stuff overhead so that the audience perspective is shifted and things look bigger than they are, et cetera, et cetera. So but what happened just before that is he was force choking somebody, and then he tried to drop part of the ceiling down on the audience down below, and you see like an element of the ceiling fall down. So at least one of the destruction effects that was supposed to be there to take place during the different incidents that happened on the ship obviously got installed. There were a lot of rumors about the cutbacks and, you know, and all that. Oh, here's bingo. This is great. This is fun.
Oh my god, let's see this.
So this is immersive bingo.
Sure.
Immersive bingo. Okay.
Everybody's going to be catching up to you. You got to be careful. My next one is all around. As
Oh, look, there
I can't believe it really is bingo.
Oh no, I don't.
Is that
Oh my
placemat?
fucking god!
No.
Placemat?
No.
That's Planet Bingo.
Why is he wearing a Star Trek Discovery outfit?
Even the
I
VFW
can't
gives
even watch
you
this.
tables to play bingo. Okay, even the VFW provides tables and chairs. for
Yeah, it's
bingo.
called something else.
Who the hell invented that? I mean, who's the product manager here?
This monstrosity cost $2,000.
No. Well,
No,
$6,000.
$6,000.
well, for a family of four,
$6,000?
for a family of four, it's $6,000 plus resort fees and taxes.
It costs so much
I thought it
because
was
they
$2,000
laser
a
printed the
person.
whole thing. This
24
is a whole new experiment.
$2,400 per person per night,
Mhm.
or wait, per cabin
This
per night.
monstrosity costs $2,400. I'm
Does
ruined.
it come? Does it come with your own droid? You don't get an astromech or anything with that. It's just
I don't
you.
think so. I don't think so.
But
$2,500. I fucking better.
If I
This-
wanted
No.
to play bingo, I can go to the local retirement home and play it right there for free.
Yeah.
Shit, you can
God.
play with your grandma, and she'd be happy you spent some time with her. For fuck's
Yeah,
sake.
absolutely.
If they had an adult offering where, you know, it came with an astromech or something, I could understand the up price. But for what I'm seeing, you know, it falls short. So like, I can't even believe what I'm seeing.
Well, the sets. Okay, so here's some other stuff that really bothers me about the aesthetic. This is really torn out of the queuing area for Space Mountain. If you've ever been on the Space Mountain attraction,
Oh, yeah.
the roller coasters at Disney World or Disneyland, that aesthetic is completely ripped out of there. All of the plastic coverings, all of that is, and even the terminals are essentially just this regurgitated molded plastic look to it. And when you get to the bridge, it's the same thing. In fact, the bridge games, the bridge participation that you get to do while on the ship, and I'm sure there's some photos and video of that. Somebody called it Space Galaga. And basically you've already played that. If you've ever been in the interactive queue in Disney World for Space Mountain, you've played the Space Galaga game right in the queue. That's basically, you know, the slightly upgraded version of that is what you're getting on the Galactic Star Cruiser bridge experience. So there you go. So
I'd rather go to Jurassic Park where there's a chance I'm gonna get eaten.
yeah. Tell you what, those raptors scare the pants
Okay.
off of you.
We need some more likes, everybody.
Yeah, but
Let's
at least they're
go.
not boring.
That's true. Lick the like button.
Click the like button. We need some more likes, people.
You are actually planning to have some Star Wars on your Star Wars weekend, aren't you? Hello.
Oh yeah, that's true. We haven't seen too much that looks like the Star Wars we know and love.
We do get to see something that looks like Fifth Element.
So this is so awesome. You know why?
Anybody get
Yeah,
that?
Tom,
Jurassic
let's
Park
get into the
reference?
Fifth Element
Yeah, I did.
video.
At least the Fifth Element was sexy.
Yeah.
What Fifth Element video? Oh, the singing one. Oh,
Yeah,
hang on
the Gaia singing in the
here.
club.
Hang on here. I got it.
This is the best show I've ever done.
Oh Lord. Here we go. Lord, forgive me for this. I know I've done a lot of stupid shit, but this has got to be the best.
And the entire audience you're watching are influencers.
Yes.
Oh my God, are those space intergalactic bongo drums?
Whoa. When the Axel Braun porn looks better. What the fuck?
I hope that person is that supposed to be a DJ with bongo drums? Oh my God! There's good news and there's bad news to this. You know what the good news is?
Oh, do share.
Okay, so my little sister, you know how I spoil the crap. Well, you guys may not know this. I spoil the crap out of my little sister. And this summer, she wants to go to Disney World, and she kind of hinted that she wanted to go to the hotel. And I said, if it looks like it sucks, there's no way I'm taking you. I don't have to take her.
It's remarkable to me. And again, I mean, I tried to tell people all along that, there was stuff that was going to be missing that it was originally promised. There's, it was going to be underwhelming, and it's living up to everything I expect.
Well, imagine if you had just told them there's going to be bingo.
There is. Yeah.
I mean that sums everything up. You pay $6,000 if you're a family, or $2,400 minimum if you're one, and I'm pretty sure they'll find a way to mark that up. And you get to watch cosplayers pretend to be Kylo Ren and Rey, changing their sword right in front of you and everything. So you get to watch a little bit of that. You get to watch cosplay of the Fifth Element singing. And then you get to round the evening out with a nice game of bingo. I mean, if you just pitched it to them like that, no one would have believed you. They would call you a liar, and that's what happens.
You forgot about the droid racing, right? Because there's you get to race little droids, little micro astromechs. You forgot about that. You also forgot about their version of Pokemon Go, where it's basically hide and seek on the ship. There's lots of great activities. I mean, seriously.
Are drinks included?
No. Well, some drinks are, but you can have.
I very much doubt the ones that you need are included.
No. You're going to pay a premium for those. You're going to need some Republic credits for that, I think. Yeah.
No calamari flan.
Can I get any death sticks? Because I'm going to need something to fucking.
A lot of people are going to need some death sticks. I'm just saying. Whoosh.
I
hope they have some calamari on the menu, actually.
But you can get all you can drink blue or green milk. Aren't you excited?
No.
What?
Okay.
Milk?
You mean that shit that Mark Hamill said tastes like fucking oil?
Yeah.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's easy actually. You have some cod liver oil in the milk, and you dial it blue, and I can see the appeal of that.
Yeah, stop. No. Oh,
you're Norwegian though.
Look, even with
this is the guy who won't eat butter on his fucking popcorn, but he puts fucking fish juice in milk. Listen to this shit.
Even with rum and vodka, you can't fix the green or blue milk. I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. What are you saying?
You can fix anything with a little bit of cod liver oil.
Are you saying you can get that dumb green and blue milk at the Galactic Cruiser Hotel too?
Yes.
Because I saw that at Galaxy's Edge last month when I went with my sister.
all you can drink, Mikey. And
no,
now do you want to
They
know?
don't have spotchka.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would you have because that was on the planet with the weirdo creature, with the Luke Skywalker, with the Babas bottle. And why would you have it on the Galactic Hotel when you could have your choice of anything? And where would that milk come from? I mean, do they have those creatures in a dairy processing facility that's on board the Galactic Cruiser? Like, that makes zero sense. Why would you do that? That is the last thing you'd want to drink on this freaking hotel. Are you telling me they actually offer that at the hotel?
All I know is that your Ferengi ale is probably there too, Mike.
That's a different universe. You're getting me confused now. And I know I'm Mexican, but you're getting me confused.
You know what? I'm pretty sure the brand managers at the Disney, they probably don't even realize that it's a different universe. They probably think, "Where's our rum ale?"
One guy looks like he's wearing a Discovery uniform.
Why aren't
anyway.
you speaking Romulan?
No, Romulan ale as well. Yeah,
don't you know this is Star Wars? That's how ignorant they are.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the whole point of the Ferengi ale rather than Romulan. Romulan ale is blue. It's like drinking blue Kool-Aid. Leaf.
But Andre, you're probably right. They just don't even understand which one is which, do they?
No,
probably not.
No, it's seriously, and if the chat's been on fire with it, you know, and they're not wrong. It doesn't look like Star Wars. It doesn't look like a lived-in universe. You know,
Speaking of,
yeah. Oh wow.
let's get into some super chats. Why not?
Yeah. Melvin Belliot says for $10, good afternoon, gentlemen. And in the mid-90s, Cotton Eye Joe was huge, especially
It
the
was.
summer it came out here. All right, cool.
Don't
Because
remind me.
I wasn't even sure that it would have been released.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Because like it's one of those Euro hits, and there's no guarantee that a Euro hit is ever released in the States.
Okay, so our man Chum from the chat just sent a video, and I just forwarded it to Tom and Andre in the DMs and Twitter.
Ooh.
This one is extremely disappointing.
Okay.
I look forward to seeing that.
Wee.
While I'm getting that, you could read this one from Matthew W.
Yeah, and he says for $2, KK and Bob Chapek special here. Yeah, it takes at least two to work on that. And yeah, what else fun stuff do we have here?
As we speak, TIE fighters are surrounding the ship. Star destroyers are moving into place. The Halcyon will not be allowed to leave this port.
He would be shot if he was actually in the Empire right now.
He would have been choked.
It's a different Captain Karen than the other one.
Yeah, but even Captain Karen looks disapproving at the stormtroopers messing up.
He's struggling with this. That is funny
Fuck.
stuff.
Well, he may be taken out back and shot or at least fired out the cannon after.
He can't fucking see anyway, probably. He's just like...
Probably. My God.
Star Wars.
Look at Captain Karen. She's not impressed.
What's a real bummer is I recognize a couple of those influencer people. So I'm like...
Oh. I will say, though, that kudos to them because they actually get paid to be there. And they're the only ones. I'm sure they probably get paid more than what everyone else would have to be or would have to pay to get there. So good on them. Of course, it's not going to make it fun in any way, shape, or form. But hey, being an influencer for stuff like that's a nice job if you can get it.
I'm gonna say it. This is the biggest waste of money I ever saw. I've seen better shit at like conventions with cosplay, and I've seen better presentations for a hell of a lot less.
But see, automated banner rollers would have worked better. In that instance than having like an actor try to figure out how to make that happen.
I guess they didn't have the budget.
This looks like the cheapest motherfucking play I've ever seen in my life.
Star Wars.
This is what you paid $2,400 for.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Well, the costumes look recycled. Let's just be honest about it. They look like they're costumes from some other show. So let's say with the exception of the Stormtrooper stuff, the costumes don't look up to par. And that's like 90% of the effort is.
I'd ask for my money back if I paid $20. Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, if those costumes don't look right, that's 90% of it. It has to look like, even as we started off with Kylo Ren and Rey, his costume was wrong. It was off, so there was the illusion gets destroyed immediately from anyone who sees it. But this morning on the news, I saw them advertising the Galactic Star Cruiser with Pride. And they have no worries about it. They're advertising it. They're letting people know. If you watch your local news networks, you're going to see advertisements for it, and they're very excited about it. And they had someone who was extremely excited to go to the Galactic Star Cruiser, which I can understand because he was from Make-A-Wish, and he was 5 years old, and he was dressed as a Jedi, and his costume looked on point. Like he looked like a real little Jedi. This child looks so cute. And he was excited to go there. He has no idea what he's going to see. But, when they had the news person from the network showing the location, it was like, what you're showing him is not Star Wars. But he doesn't know. He's only 5 years old. He's going to be excited. He gets to go to Disney. I'm happy for him.
Well,
Yeah.
on that note, did you notice in that one video there was one gentleman in a wheelchair, but he was way shoved to the back wall, like way afar from everybody else?
No, I didn't notice that. What happened?
Yeah, during the bingo one. Here, let me see if I can bring it back up. You guys will see what I'm talking about. Hang on. Here it is. There's one guy in a wheelchair back there, and he's way in the back of the room. And it looks like he's playing bingo with everybody else.
Mhm.
See him back there? To the left? Yeah, I'll back it up again. See, he's way back over there.
Yeah, I saw for a second.
Yeah, see, they got him sitting way back there. Why the fuck is here the clear the fuck over there?
At least they're enjoying it. Someone is enjoying it.
There's literally 1, 2,
I don't
3,
see any
4,
smiles
5
there.
people here. I don't either. Jesus. I'm sorry. Like I was just saying before, if this cost me $24, I'd ask for my fucking money back. This is a joke.
Well,
This is a big
here's
serious
here's
joke.
other news about it. Okay, well, this is room prices. Let's see. 2 guests per cabin is $1,209 per night, or $4,809. 3 guests per cabin is $889, or $5,299, and 4 guests per cabin is $749, or $6,000.
See, Andre, you'll save money on a combo plan.
Let's see,
Yeah.
that's what I'm telling you. If you're going with Quentin Tarantino, you're all sharing room.
Now, these are also the cheapest dates, because if you look, those are between the hottest part of the year, August 20th, and no kids are going to go because they're getting ready to go back to school or already have, and September 17th. So basically, those are those dates. Now, here's all the available dates, folks. They were telling you that this thing was sold out, right? Look at May. The entire month of May is basically available.
Oh.
Yeah. We go back to March. Oh, wait. March is finally filled up for the moment, but that continues to change. They keep cycling in and out of the availability. There's one weekend in April left, the 16th and 17th, right? But again, and this is for, I believe, the available voyages that are available. So, but I find it interesting that you're looking at May is fully available. June has some available dates still. You have all of July. All of July is available.
Those would have been fully booked if it was any other hotel by now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'd have
But
been fully booked up into the maximum amount of time. What is it, a year that you can book in advance? It would have been packed if it were what it purported to be.
This is something they're going to experiment with based on surveys and other people's professional opinions and some other information. They're going to experiment with the idea of allowing people from Galaxy's Edge to buy a day pass to go to the Galactic cruiser for 2 hours, 2.5 hour experience.
So is this how they're going to make up for that $6 billion they're missing somewhere?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I do know
this looks like a money laundering scheme to me if I ever saw one.
It does. Yeah. August is fully available, everyone, just in case you want to go. Looks like September is almost fully available. So they'll let you book out.
You see this Kylo Ren outfit? It costs $25,000. Quickly hide that Walmart tag. $25,000.
Yeah. Yeah. There's your space elevator capsule right here on the right. That takes you up to the starship. That's your arrival experience there on the right that I'm hovering over. So,
yeah, they misplaced $6 billion.
I just want to say that
Joey.
RM is more optimistic. She's even more tequila bottle half full kind of gal than I am about everything in general. She's more in that Robert Meyer Burnett, end of the spectrum than I am, and I'm a pretty half tequila bottle full kind of guy.
I'm sure even Robert Meyer Burnett would struggle to find something good to say about
this.
But
RM's face right now, like, is not. I'm not feeling the excitement, girl.
And yeah, I'm looking at this going. Look, this is the standard.
Here, I'm going to test her right now. Watch this. RM, would this be a dream date if I took you?
I'd be afraid to go in the room. Honestly, it looks like a prison or like it's padded cell.
And notice going in
like.
the room scares her more than going in the room with Mexican Iron Man.
It does look like a death
No,
trap.
no.
She's not
That's
wrong.
a conversation you and I can have privately, Mike.
That's yeah, I know. I get what she's saying. It looks like a fucking death trap.
When you going in it feels very claustrophobic, and the colors, like it feels like a galactic prison. It's not cheerful, and kind of like pretty colors and paintings of different designs of a Star Wars theme on the wall are not there. I know the Republic, it was tough, but gosh, times aren't that hard. They must have some kind of artist who can draw. If it has to be a rebel base, let it be a rebel base that looks cool. We can't, that's all we're asking.
But this ship has been fully reconditioned. Don't you understand that? This is a cleaned up, fully restored ship.
You know what it reminds me of a little bit? What I imagine. You remember like that Monty Python skit, I believe it was, where John Cleese has he's like this designer of a hotel. He's the contractor, and then he goes and he explains to people who have bought the hotel how it works. Well, guests come in here, and then they'll be chopped to bits and pieces and all mauled, and the owner's like, "What the hell are you talking about? We don't want them killed." This looks like that. This looks like John Cleese's Death Hotel.
Well, interestingly enough, this is exactly what you should expect when you go on a Disney cruise. This is very similar to the cruise ship rooms that you'll get, with the exception of the bunk beds that are there. They're normally mounted on the wall adjacent to the porthole, which is where the family is looking right now. The bathrooms are designed basically off of their own cruise ship bathrooms. So if you've ever been on a Disney cruise, you're going to feel like this. Wow, this is very much like going on a Disney cruise.
They can shove this up their porthole.
Any family that's ever traveled, there's all this luggage, and they have strollers and baby carriage stuff, baby bags, all that stuff. It doesn't feel like everything's gonna fit in here. It
looks like a very small room. Where that picture is being taken from, that's the doorway right there to the right. So that's the wall right there. So that means however they're taking this picture, that wall is right up to the left there. Yeah, that is not a very big room. I bet you it's 15 by 15, 20 by 20 at the best.
And I don't know what kind of lighting that is, but that lighting is very annoying for a working adult. If you work in an environment where they have lighting like this and you're kind of it's not comfortable, then you go on vacation and the holiday that you've planned has that kind of lighting. It's not enjoyable to feel. You want something warmer, maybe a little bit more relaxing feel, but this one feels like you're on a spotlight. They're watching you. It's a suicide watch while you're in the room or something.
Right.
Well, at least the cameras would be on in here, right? Maybe, compared to some other recent famed people that were supposedly being watched.
They got cameras in the hotel room?
Who knows, dude? That's a joke.
Good Lord, Mickey's watching.
I'm just saying.
You can't see her from this angle. We can't see if she's still in the room. Oh, she's on the other side of the bed. Okay.
What concerns me the most about this is the ingress and egress from this room. And I know that seems a little crazy, but yeah, I would.
Feels like you're sleeping in a fucking storage shed.
How do you get out? Yes, thank you. Yes, how do you get out? Where do you get fresh air? What? I don't understand.
Somebody in the chat at CC Karaoke said something brilliant. Star Wars too white. Star Wars so white. So white. Yeah.
Okay, real quick, Culture. Can you explain the whole $6 billion deal?
No, I can't. I don't have any idea. No.
Oh, you don't know? Okay. No. All right. Well, the version I know is that there was one lady who claims that they've been hiding money in the park and she got shit canned. They were supposed to be doing some kind of investigation into it, but she claims that they've hidden up to $6 billion through this shit. It was crazy, the way they were supposedly doing this, but it was this intricate deal of how they would charge things in the park and how things were.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the ways they were misreporting. That's true. They one of the people that was there, one of the accountants. This is one of the SEC investigations that you're talking about. They essentially, when a customer had a complaint, they would offer a recovery, and the recovery was usually a gift card, right? They would hand out a gift card that would not be counted as an expense. It was just left off the books entirely. And then when that gift card came in, they counted it as income.
Revenue.
Yeah, revenue, excuse me. Yeah. And so that was one of the very many things that she reported on. She was a whistleblower, and you're talking about, just a ton of money. Just a ton of money. And, of course, we've had this conversation about how Disney builds things incredibly slowly nowadays, at least under Iger, where they were amortizing construction of attractions or park additions or even parks. They were doing that over quarters to try to, to spread out the expense overall to hide, what they were spending on whatever it was they were building. So there have been a lot of conversations around, what things actually end up really costing. Because if you listen to some of the talk around how much this hotel cost, you would be flabbergasted and be curious as to where the money went to build this thing, because it's a cement box. This is
there was more than just that. Like Dr. Coffin says, there was
yeah.
coupons too.
Yeah.
There was something to do with the food.
Yeah.
They were like
the coupons were for the resorts,
Mhm.
and
And
what
the
they
food.
were doing is they were issuing those out. And there are a few things that they did. The culture did an excellent job of covering the first one. The other thing that happened were coupons and vouchers that went out, which are supposed to be in consideration for, and those were counted as revenue as well. So, for example, if I came to the hotel and say I bought something for $5.90, let's say I bought a package for $5.99, including the golf trips. Did you want to say something, Culture? What?
No, go ahead. I have something after you. I just want to hold up my hand.
In addition to, but let's say I had a promo voucher for $2.99. If I did say something else, then what happened was that even though those were issued, they got booked as revenue, but the $2.99 wasn't offset against the $5.99. They booked the full value.
Yep.
Of it.
And there was something similar going on at Movie Gallery when I worked there, and they actually used part of this to fire me with, which was fucked up. But basically, what they would do is there was this thing where there was a point system on the customers, and if they wouldn't use their special points thing, we would roll it over onto a card, and they wouldn't know about it because otherwise they were going to expire. So our boss would have us take these cards every week, and whenever their points were about to expire, if they didn't use them, they would have us put them on a card, and then we'd use them during the week, throughout the week, for other things. Well, I fucked up on one of those cards, and they used that to fire me down the road just before the company closed, because they didn't want to pay me my fucking exit fucking package. That's why. But anyway, point being, that's what they were doing basically, is they were like bumping up our sales by using this arbitrary coupon system. It was really fucking weird. And I'm like, I knew there was something shady about it from the start. Yeah. Like, and I said something to my boss about it from the beginning. I'm like, I don't like this. I don't think we should be doing this.
Well, and
it just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, there's some debate as to, because Mike mentioned the golf or aspects of it and some other stuff, right? Some packaging. There's also some questions around the fact that they included something called the Disney dining plan as part of the room incentives, and money was moved around because of that. So like, you got free Disney dining plan if you booked a package vacation. So there's a lot of really bizarre things that were going on. They're looking at they're looking at them, and there's more than one SEC investigation, more than one. So
yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're not using part of this to help with that. But yeah, Matthew W says KK and Bob Chapek special here. Yeah, exactly. Then we had Bobby Chapek's in the house. How you doing?
What's up, Bob?
He says, thank you for not being shills like Resort TV 1 today. Just banned and deleted anything that was on the verge of being negative.
Yeah.
Shill no more. Well, that sounds like Disney's MO. I'm sure they were influenced to do so. Tim Scorpion says, would you rather see that or giant spaceships fighting the Halcyon, through the windows? Neither. Can I just fucking stay at home and play a video game? I've got the Rogue One game that has the VR section. That's probably a lot more exciting than this shit.
Yeah,
I can actually go out and fight in an X-Wing in 3 dimensions, and I actually feel like I'm flying. I got sick one time playing that game because I was spinning too much. It was a neat trick
on the VR. Oh wow, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, I was spinning too fast. I'm like, oh shit! I damn near threw up.
That was yeah. Let's do spinning. That's a neat trick.
It was not a neat trick.
It's weird.
It was dumb.
If the reported cutbacks are accurate, and again, I haven't been here yet, but if the reported cutbacks are accurate, this experience is incredibly limited. And again, it's not going to deliver. See, this is the problem. Disney overpromised Galaxy's Edge to begin with, in telling you there was going to be all this immersiveness. You were going to have droids rolling through. You were going to be, constantly interacting with characters in that part of the park expansion. That never came out to be the case, right? Then on top of that, they were like, well, no, we're going to put all that into this hotel. So far, not seen a lot of that. But I guess, like I said, we'll see. But there were massive cutbacks in the park, and there supportedly have been massive cutbacks in this hotel. So I'm curious where the money went. That's all.
RM, well, when you think of the 2-day experience in Disneyland, like, what do you think, like in your mind as a longtime fan, what were your hopes and dreams versus what we just...
I have to say, you mean just in general, let's say I would want to be either at the Floridian or at, the Hawaiian hotel, because those are my two favorite hotels to kind of like even be in, like even just their lobby, like going into their lobby for both of those hotels, is completely immersive, and you feel like, you're getting that experience. And it doesn't really matter where you are on Earth. As soon as you step into those hotels, you feel like you're having that experience. If you step out of the hotel, if you're going into the park, you want to be immersed into different things. And I've said this before, even going to Disney now, as I walk through the park, I always act surprised when I see, characters walking around, because that's why we're there. We're there to get the experience. If I see Alice, I know as soon as I see a floating teacup somewhere, I'm expecting to see Alice pop out and for her to look like Alice. And so, that's something that they've been giving us for so long. And we've kind of been expecting that kind of experience, no matter what it is from them. So it is very surprising.
I mean, you got a problem if a fat Asian lady's playing Alice?
It's so surprising to see something like this, because they put Star Wars on the top of Galactic Cruiser, but they just need to remove Star Wars. If they just put Galactic Cruiser, it'll just look like a spaceship, some kind of a random spaceship. But it doesn't have the feel that I'm hoping for. And I hope this is, like, just looking at it, I really want this to be wrong. I don't want what we're seeing to be what they're saying we're going to get. I'm just confused by it. It's confusing. I think a lot of people will go there and say, yeah, it was great, but where's the Star Wars stuff? I think that's what most people will say, because they have so much trust in going there, and they believe that they're going to get that experience that they're paying $6,000 for, $4,000 for, $2,000 for, which used to be the price for an entire week at Disney. It used to be like $1,500 to $2,000 for a whole week at Disney. Now they're saying like one night would be, or a weekend stay, and that doesn't even include everything else that you want to do while you're there. So, I would be very surprised to see something like this. If I went there, I would be, and just disappointed, because they have such a level of excellence at their other attractions, as far as I'm concerned. Like I think the Floridian and the Hawaiian hotel, which I never remember the name of, are really excellent and beautiful places to visit. But I'm not getting this feeling of beauty and fascination and wonder from what I'm seeing here. So that's my response. I hope I answered your question, Mike.
Now, culture, does the amount you pay, does that include dinners and shit too? I know it includes the room, right? But
you food is included, alcoholic beverage
you
or
get
not.
to eat that Play-Doh for free.
And specialty, so these are some of the dining options I was scrolling through. But it's like I said, it's a weird place to be, right? They spend a lot of time on the cuisine. Whether it tastes better or not, I don't know. But again, this is something, if I ever end up going, believe me, I will give you my heartfelt opinion on everything. But the only upcharge is going to be if you attend the captain's table dinner. I mean, there are some other things you can add to spend more money. Believe me, Disney is all about the add-on, the upcharge events and everything else, and they have built-in upcharge here, which includes alcohol. And again, the cabin that we showed you just a few moments ago was just a standard cabin. That's not the upgraded cabin or one of the captain's suites, right? There are supposedly 6 to 8 premium rooms that are available, depending. Those things probably include your alcohol as well, because they're very, very expensive. So they go ahead, Ara.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this picture that's on the screen now of the dinner, I'm sorry, but these plates don't look appetizing to me.
Well,
Those are the ones I said look like Play-Doh. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I would imagine the top thing is an appetizer or an amuse-bouche. If that's a full dinner, I'm gonna need more food. That's not gonna work for me.
Well, maybe you can bring some rabbit chicken.
Well, you know what that is? I can tell now. That is fucking blue dyed shrimp. And it looks like you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them.
Yep, 6
shrimp. 6 whole fucking shrimp.
Is there pork on the menu?
Yeah, I think that might.
I don't know, but there better be rabbit chicken.
Yeah, but there's breakfast and lunch.
This is not an award-winning look. I mean, it should be 5-star.
I am not eating anything that looks like it's gonna move and eat me or bite me back. No way, no how.
It should be 5-star for that price that they're asking for. I could easily get a 5-star meal for them.
But aren't you intrigued
for the price they're asking for?
Aren't you intrigued? You're going to get the Bobo Wamba Family Farms blue milk with
those portions are not very big at all.
Yeah, I would be starving to death.
It looks like an airline tray.
It does, really. Yeah. During lunch, choose from a collection of small bites like sandwiches, soups, mini flatbreads, and assorted salads and sweets.
Nothing.
There you go.
So you get the worst from both flying and taking boats all at the same time.
Pretty much.
Yeah, great deal.
Yeah.
We got a $2 super chat from Fuck Google who says this looks like a non-denominational kids camp.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks worse. At least with kids camp, it ain't this goddamn expensive and there's more to do.
Yeah.
And a kid's camp isn't so creepy. This is a little creepy. There's like a creepy element to it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but there is something that's kind of creepy about it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're getting us ready for one of those like eyes wide shut in space kind of experiences.
Well, that would be fine, Mike. If you and I were going and we paid $6,000 for an eyes wide shut experience, great. But that's not what this is.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. I don't want my eyes to be wide shut around these weirdos.
Yeah, I find this fascinating, this sabacc table thing. I don't know how. I mean, this is like a push button event stuff. I'm like going holo sabacc. All right.
I think Universal is going to be laughing their asses.
Oh man, they already were. They immediately poked fun when the box truck was revealed to be what it was. Universal's response was a box truck of their own saying, "Hey, we'll give you a ride to our parks." Something like that. It was brilliant. They are already trolling hard. Not to mention, think about this. Epic Universe is going to be opening very soon. You're going to have Nintendo World. You'll be able to hang out at Nintendo Land or whatnot. And if you look at the stuff that they have in Japan, where one of those is already open, you're going to flip when it gets to Florida. So just saying.
I actually feel like going to Nintendo Land. Like, I don't even know anything about it, but just hearing the description, this is going to be like Universal Pods, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Universal Park. Well, that's another point for Universal Parks.
Yeah, Universal is going to do very well, adding another theme park to their group with Epic Universe, adding, more experiences. They have a world-class water park, or hybrid water park is what it's called. With Volcano Bay, you've got great hotels now that they're really starting to invest in, kind of like Disney used to do. Stuff like that. So, here's the captain table we were talking about. You can arrange to sit at the captain's table for an especially memorable dinner experiences. You enjoy extra courses, of course, the captain's favorite dishes while seated in a prime location at the center of the. So even if you pay for standard,
wait a minute, I pay $6,000 and I got to pay even more to sit at the captain's table. The weirdo, the blue-faced weirdo.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
So you get to converse with Captain Karen.
Like I said, upcharges are Disney's specialty now. In fact, they have blocked off prime locations just in the regular theme park experience and charge more for you to stand there to watch fireworks or shows or anything else. This is what Disney has come to. And Bob Chapek is kind of bummed out because he had to cancel his Commerce Tower, where he could have made even more money for premium experiences in Epcot, not to mention the things that got canceled for the 50th. And there's so much stuff that Disney couldn't do because they bought into the fear, but I'm not going to expand on that too much. But I'll just say that this is just what you get, and you have to pay more to get prime seating.
Even the descriptions on this page don't even look good. Like even the way it's arranged, and it's not exciting. They haven't, the language itself is not exciting. You know, not a lot of effort was put into this. This is really kind of, you know, the least amount of work they could do to, you know, complete the job. Here, I'm contracted to type out this information and make the page look good. Here, can I get my check now? Thanks. Bye. You know,
Absolutely.
like,
But someone who does loads and loads of work is Mike, the Mexican Iron Man. And he, unfortunately, he has some other commitments, which means that I know that you have to be taking your leave here pretty soon.
Yeah, gonna go take mom to lunch. She's in town, and with that, I will, as we say, I will leave in the private chat another video thanks to Shum, which is the finale of that lightsaber fight, which is even more tragic and hilarious. That is my parting gift to all of you, everybody in the chat, the stream mods. Thank you very much. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, RM. Thank you, Culture. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.
bye, Mike.
All right,
love
take
you all.
care. And Culture, do you have a couple of more minutes?
Yeah, I can give you a few more
Okay.
minutes. Yeah.
Tom, let's see the video before we round out talking about this embarrassment. Let's be honest.
Embarrassment.
Well, do you have a better word for it?
No, that was brilliant. Your adjective is right on point. Oh, here we go.
This is like 14 minutes long.
Oh, invest in better microphones. Good Lord. Oh.
Well, I think it's just like, yes. Well, you look at all those people hanging in there. How the hell are you supposed to have like an immersive experience with all the tourists and everything like that with their...
Did she just poke him with the lightsaber?
Yeah. She actually kicked him that time.
Always get up.
Oh, she switched lightsabers again.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
That is the only legitimate Star Wars thing we've seen so far.
You get more shit at a fucking casino for free.
This pepper's ghost
talking
effect is no
slot
bueno.
machine. It's more.
Doesn't even sound like Carlo Red.
He's too small.
See the piece of ceiling I was talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Power Rangers villain.
But you know something? The cast members at Disney are good. They're great performers, and they deserve better.
Well, I don't blame the cast for anything per se.
You
Like
know?
I feel so bad for them.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they deserve better than this. They're great performers, and this is not the level of performance that they would normally give anywhere else in the park.
You remember the Star Trek experience in Vegas?
He literally sounds like Shredder from the old Ninja
I
Turtles
never
live
went
show.
to it, Culture. I never attended that. What did you've seen it?
I did. Yeah. I saw it, and I saw back in the late 70s, early 80s, the Universal Studios tram tour took you through Battlestar Galactica. Both of those were pretty amazing experiences. What?
You're lucky.
Chewbacca.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Oh my God.
I bet you know, I don't know if this is true, but are these even cast members? Are these like contracted people to play these roles? Because the cast members, like, they do such a good job in everything they do.
Well, you hire equity performers. I mean, that's one of the things. I mean, one of the reasons that you don't have the entertainment options like you used to at Disney was because they let go of all the equity performers. You know, and
She
they
don't look
cost a lot of
nothing
money.
like Ray.
Well, there's
I'm sorry,
multiple
Culture?
Rays. Oh no, it's fine. It's just
What were you
Sorry.
saying? You said that they hire equity and
yeah. They hire actors. I mean, legitimate equity performers, right? And from they one of the things that happened, when they shut down the parks, is a lot of those contracts expire. Well, were forced to expire, and bringing them back and especially for the rates they were paying before isn't going to be feasible. So a lot of entertainment options at Disney World and other theme parks around the globe have suffered. So because they're part of unions, these are union contracts. So there goes the Millennium Falcon in that window. Yay, that was neat. Oh, there it goes again.
Yeah, that
just
was
in case
cool.
you missed it. Just in
that
case
was
you
cool.
missed
I
it.
saw it just out of the side.
Yeah, it's going to come over here now, probably.
Is it?
Woo!
And you're going to, they're all looking at the right window.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and there boogies.
They
Yeah,
made a jump. Okay.
Yeah.
But the windows are very small. Like you really have to know that you should be looking in that
Fucking
direction
TV
to see
screen.
that feature. So I don't know. I was unaware that the cast members who were brought back may not be equity.
Well,
didn't know that.
I guarantee you all of these people they're under a union contract. They have to be.
Okay.
And you're right. I mean, but again, this is brand new. They have had very few rehearsals. They've only been working on this production for a couple of months. There are a lot of moving parts in it. Again, I there's some bad art direction. There's obviously bad sound issues here. But will it improve over time? Absolutely. Just like a Broadway show does, right? In previews. So that would be my guess. Anyway, we talked all through this, but that's a good thing because we showed somebody else's content. So fair use.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about this. It's just, it makes me want to go to a Universal park.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, they have now overused their Pepper's Ghost effect, like as a hologram, so much that it's no longer even exciting as a parlor trick any longer. And you still have a more convincing effect than the old stuff that was built way back in the 70s with the Haunted Mansion, right? But again, it is what it is, and over time, will it get better? My expectation, as far as the performance that I can't do it. RM and I have been talking about, that's going to get better. But overall, the elements that they have to work with that in the writing, I don't know. I mean, there wasn't. You're not going to have a lot of physical acting there. Obviously, I think the most physical we saw was when she poked him with the tip of the lightsaber, and when she actually made contact with his stomach. Because like the 4 previous physical confrontations between Rey and Kylo, that was like the skiff kick, only like 3 foot extra space between Luke and his adversary there. So it's just it's weird. But anyway, it is what it is. So I'm done talking.
Oh, that's all right, and I really appreciate your input because, as for me, I'm just flabbergasted why anyone would want to go to something like this. That's what because it's just so far away from anything that I would do myself that I just can't wrap my head around it. I understand that some people evidently must be into this, but it just boggles the mind, certainly at this price point. So really appreciate that. And also you being here today to talk us through this. So that's brilliant.
I just it was it's an entertainment of all its own. But I'll be headed out. Thank you very much. This was a lot of fun. There's a decent chance I'm going to be going to this. There's a couple of opportunities that have been.
I can't wait for your review
that have been afforded to me, and I'm going to take up one of them at least, so we'll see. And believe me, no punches will be pulled because nobody's paying for me. So, but anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you all. Everybody have a great day. Check out all these lovely people we hang out with. They're amazing, and especially this young lady here. Everybody have a great day. Thank you. Bye.
All right, thanks for joining us. All right, we have a few super chats, so let's start getting through those. One of them is from Catalin Sergius, who sent us $5 with no further comment. So either it was removed or there was none in either event. We thank you for the support.
Yes.
And then we have Tim Scorpion, who says for $2, all I need is milk and food coloring from Vice. So yeah, milk rules. Milk with food coloring, not so much, but hey. And Cardinal Sin says for $20,
Wow.
Andre, would you please imitate Doomcock's voice? I can only imitate Doomcock's imitation of me, because it sounds a little bit like Bela Lugosi. That's the best I can do. That's the best I can imitate him, imitating me. But me imitating him. The problem is when you're stuck with an accent, it's very, very difficult to imitate someone else within the confines of that. No, I like I say, I suck at imitation. Like I can make my accent more or less strong. That's pretty much it. But Doomcock's imitation of me is easy because there I just add a little bit of Bela Lugosi, and then that helps a little bit. How did I do?
I think you do sound like Bela Lugosi, but I was going to ask you if you could do Harvey, his Cthulhu.
Harvey?
No, I refer you to Tom for that.
Damn you, Doomcock.
That's about the best I can do.
That's
But of
pretty
course,
good.
if he ever needs some help in like doing the chant for Cthulhu, the Cthulhu Vertagen, I'd be happy to help with that.
As
thank
far
you,
as the
Gil.
Doomcock voice, that's about the best I can do.
So, yeah.
Gil, thank you for the generous $20.
Yes, thank you, Cardinal Sin. And then we got Melvin Belliard sending $50, and thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Melvin. That's most appreciated. And he says, also, have any of you check out the Motu IG page? They just dropped a video in the last few days talking about a new character they released, Sunman, talking about how he's the first diverse character in Motu, completely ignoring Clampsham.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I know.
Andre and I are well aware of Sunman. Yes.
Yeah, we're well aware of Sunman, and he's quite disrespectful. But yeah, it's just that they pretend that the past never happened, because all of the problems that we claim to have today, they were kind of like solved in the past. And if you go back and look at the
He-Man
past,
has
you'll
always
actually
been
see that.
diverse. Not only is there Champ Clamp, there was a bunch of other characters that weren't white.
Yeah, the ninjutsu but the biggest post of diversity was actually behind the scenes. That's where the true diversity was, in employment, in talent, in storytelling, in directors. That's where the real diversity in He-Man was.
They even have dwarves like Ram Man or whatever he was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then we got STR Red Wolf, who says cringiest episode of Midnight's Edge in the morning ever. Is that my fault?
Well, they can't all be winners.
It probably is my fault. And we got Sean Carter here.
And he says, seeing these videos make me so angry. Like I want to go on a Tom or Mike style rant. What an absolute insult. If they paid me, I wouldn't go. Well, here's the thing, though. The people that are going right now are the ones who have been paid because they're influencers, which is what I keep saying. It's a good job if you can find it.
No, I agree with Sean here. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with going if they've paid you, and then you have to make a decision about what you're going to write or report back. So there's nothing wrong with that part. And I think, Sean, if they pay you, you should go. But of course, it's your decision to do so.
No, I agree with this. Because I couldn't leave, so I'd be pissed. Like I would get bored after like 20 minutes of this shit. This is worse. Like I would rather go spend, like if my grandparents were still alive, like I'd rather go spend like the day with them in a rest home doing that kind of stuff. It would be a lot more. I feel like I would get a lot more out of it.
And you'd feel better afterwards.
Exactly.
Because you don't know how long you have.
Well, not just that. Yeah.
Your elder relatives.
It's just like I would feel like I was ripped off. I mean, for $2,400, fuck that. I can go play bingo practically for free. Like, I mean, I can go stay in a shitty hotel room that's tiny as fuck for a lot less than that.
Or even
mean,
a decent one in Florida. There's a bunch of, motels you can stay that are fine, for a lot
Right.
less and still enjoy yourself. Yeah.
I mean,
I'd rather have like the real Florida swamp experience.
I honestly just don't care enough to go into a rant about this. That's the problem. Like I would otherwise, but yeah. I mean, it's just, it doesn't even look appealing to me. I mean, they had stuff going on at the Star Trek convention 2 years ago when I was there that was equal or better than this, and it didn't cost nearly as much. It basically came along with the package, and the package for the whole weekend wasn't this goddamn much. It was like $500 to $1,000 somewhere in there. I think roughly, it was like $600 or $700 for the pass for the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these rates are international rates to me. This is like an international vacation.
It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, the price is, you really could go overseas and, do Disney, in a foreign country, not in.
You're not kidding. Round trip. Sean Carter says, though, seeing these videos makes me... Okay, we already got this one. Sorry. But yes, Sean Carter, thank you for that. Then we got Matthew W. here who says the crew uniforms are a mix of Launch Bay from Hollywood Studios and Disney Paris bits and pieces. They look nothing like Star Wars. They look more like Star Trek.
They're definitely reused. I'm sorry, but they look like recycled costumes to me. Not original and not Star Wars focused, like you said, Tom.
None really, yeah, outside of the main characters that pop in here and there or whatever, but yeah. Mute Gamer says all this footage of the hotel makes me miss the Star Trek experience that was in. Yeah, that's what I was like. They did much better shit, and that didn't cost nearly as much, right? It's like, give me a break. You can't tell me you couldn't. What I've seen so far, I could not see myself paying more than $100 for, and that I would still feel ripped off at. And I'm being honest now. Like for a whole weekend deal, I'm not. There's no way I would sleep in that room for any more than that. Oh man, it looks bad. Rod Thunderheart is in the house, and he says, "Hail, Andre, Tom, Culture Casino, and Mexican Iron Man. I'll bet the elementary schools could do a better job. This looks like anything but Star Wars." I agree, my friend. It just doesn't scream like anything I would want to spend my time doing. Gosker Verlot sends in $20. Thank you so much. It says, it looks so cheaply made and half-assed. I can't believe they have the audacity to ask for money for any of that. Here, take it instead. Thank you. Exactly, my friend. I just can't justify it. Even if Andre said, I'll pay you to go, I'd be like, why?
Well, okay, here's the thing. Like we joked before about you and Mike sharing a room with Quentin Tarantino. But if you can get Quentin Tarantino, I actually will
then it
pay
would be
for a room
worth
for
it
the three of you.
You know why? Because then I could actually hang out with Quentin Tarantino, right? Like that'd be that would be worth the experience. Fuck whatever else is going on. But there's no way you could talk me into that, Andre. I could find much better uses of that money and time. Much better. And I'm not even talking about hookers or anything. Like I'm just talking about for the channel. Like, I just don't see it being something that would be worth our fucking time. Our effort, money, any of that shit. It just doesn't, and it would probably traumatize me, and you'd have to pay for therapy anyway.
Yeah.
So, in that respect, I don't think it'd be worth it. Rave Girl is in the house and says, I have no words for that musical number. Yikes. Neither does the singer. I couldn't understand a fucking thing she was saying other than, ay, or something like that. It sounded like, I don't know. Prove them wrong, Tom. Okay, I'll try. I don't know how else to prove them wrong. But yeah, thank you for that, Rave Girl. And then we got Merlin's in the house. It says nothing should cost $6,000 in his experience. That doesn't include copious amounts of sex and drugs. I fucking agree.
I agree with that statement.
For $6,000, I should get to hang out with Kiss or something. You know what I mean? Like,
for $6,000, you actually can. I mean, you have like
that's probably.
You have like these events, like an evening with Stallone and an evening with Schwarzenegger and stuff. Like they don't cost this much.
No,
and
I know
you're
get right.
To hang out with them.
Gene Simmons would probably be like $2,000, and yeah, I could probably get hang out for a night in Vegas with Gene Simmons for $2,000, right? Like, there's no fucking way. I get the whole band and then some for $6,000. I can get even the 3 or 4 fuckers nobody cares about with the 6. Oh no, Lord Almighty! Oh, you're not wrong there, Merlins. It's a car. That's a fucking car. You can buy a really decent car for $6,000. I shit you not. You could drive cross country in that fucking car, destroy it on the way, and still probably get a hell of a lot more out of your money for that.
Just make sure that it's a car that runs on actual fossil fuel so that you actually can drive across the country.
I'm just saying that experience would probably be much more enriching and worth the $6,000.
Road trip, yeah, I can't wait for it.
Right? Fuck yeah. Anyway, John
I
Apocalypse.
will stop by Universal Studios and go to like
Fuck yes.
Harry Potter Land.
As John Apocalypse says, save your cash for Universal Studios and T2 show. Fuck yeah. From what I've heard, Universal's great. I've never been to any of those parks. I've always wanted to go.
Do they still have the T2 show?
I don't know if they do or not anymore.
I know that the first time I went to a Universal park, that was in 1995, and I missed the live Conan show by like 3 years or something. So yeah.
According to Dr. Coffin, Nail's not anymore. So yeah, I've got the video of it though on the one Blu-ray set that had it, but it's not in 3D, of course. But it's only like 20 minutes long or whatever it is. Not even. But yeah, no. Shit, I've missed some of these super chats here. I just want to make sure I get them. Okay. And thank you for that, Rod Thunderheart. Oh, we didn't read this one yet.
Yeah, this is a new one.
Rod Thunderheart says, "Hail, Midnight's Edge in the morning. Looks radiantly gorgeous. Man, it literally looks like the Star Trek. Disney should have bought that and probably could have saved her lots. Honestly, I don't think that Disney could have done worse to Star Trek than Paramount already has. Honestly,
they would have made them one IP,
and it probably would have fit their shit better. Because Star Trek is already diverse, so they wouldn't have had to really do anything. It's already family friendly. I mean, the atrocities that CBS has done to it in the last couple of years most of it has to do with how they've basically made it a gore fest and F words flying left and right, and people fucking and getting Klingon raped, like baby heads. You didn't see that shit? Yeah, that one dude.
But
yeah.
Seeing like a baby's head and like it was.
It's funny when you hear me say it because it's fucking true. This is the show that we used to get where people would go back in time and get whales. Now there's Klingons assaulting people.
Yeah, it sure has changed since those V'ger days, hasn't it?
So honestly, I'm just sitting here looking at it in retrospect. I'm like, you know what? Disney would have been better off buying Star Trek. They probably would have handled it better in the end. I could be wrong, but
thank you so much, Rod Thunderheart.
I needed that. Corion, the Witch in Residence, is here, and he says this room is smaller than the cubicles that they put at entry level program. Exactly. I'm like, that room, they're trying to do their best to make it look bigger than it is. Like they got that lens on it to make it look all big and shit. Because those people look like they're 20 feet away. I'm like, there's no fucking way they're that far away from that door.
And the sides of the walls look like a padded cell. Like if you
that would drive me nuts.
I don't like that feeling. That feels very institutional. So
yes. Does it help that they drag you to this in like in the back of a U-Haul van? I shit you not. That's like to totally add to the kidnapping experience.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Master Clockwork says, every time I think Star Wars can't go any lower, life finds a way. Now, excuse me while I play SWTOR and enjoy one of the few good things. Well, enjoy it while you can, my friend. Enjoy it while you can. Let's see here. What do we got next? We have Master Clockwork again, who says, y'all remember the Star Trek experience in Vegas? Yes, I never actually got to experience it.
Yeah,
I've seen the doorway. I guess I saw some bits and pieces of it that were still left over, but Yeah, from what I've heard, it was amazing, and it didn't cost nearly as much from what I was told. In fact, wasn't it free as long as you went to that hotel or whatever?
Yeah, probably. I
think
never got a
so.
chance to go to it either, and I regret it.
Yeah. Thunderstorm is in the house and says, do people pay extra to be a crew member and clean?
He means as part of the experience. Is that what he means?
Actually, I would not be surprised if part, like for instance, if they do like the special role-playing experience later where you get to be part of the crew, so you get to wear the StormTroopers uniforms and they boss you around cleaning
Well,
up.
Finn was a janitor.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that was like a special experience, the janitorial experience or something like that. Yeah.
We'll call it the Finn experience. Merlin Zid says $6,000 to LARP in what looks like Klaus Schwab's End of the Future. Aren't actual cruises cheaper than this BS? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
You could actually probably do a European tour almost for that much.
Yeah, well, it's depending on where in Europe and how much you want to spend. You totally could. You totally could do like the back trip of to tour of Europe.
Or like land in like Italy and then just drive.
At least you could if Klaus Schwab wasn't intent on stopping you, but that's a completely different matter.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying though. Like it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Sloan or Ty Sloan, I think that means, is Star Wars a savable franchise? What can we do to save it?
Opinions will divide on the subject.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a complicated answer.
And it's surprisingly the question we probably get the most.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'll personally say, you know. There's a future for it. I don't think it's ever going to reach the heights it ever did before. Unless there's some miraculous change of events that happens to remove everybody who's in charge right now at Disney and completely replace them with new people. And they were actually people who saw the value in this franchise and brought in individuals who made it what it was on top of, new established voices. It could be re-established, but the damage is kind of done already. The sequel trilogy is not going anywhere. Jon Favreau has said he has to work within those parameters no matter what. As you can see from this fucking stupid thing we're watching here, that Kathleen Kennedy is shoving it down our throats some more. Honestly, in maybe 10, 20 years from now, I just don't know, my friend. What do you think, Autumn? You're shaking your head quite a bit there.
I agree with you 100%, Tom, about a change in management. There has to be a shift in management and in the let's say the management culture that's running this franchise. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is they need to pull from the books. The great stories are already there. We don't need to think about where we're going to get these stories from. They're already made. Fans already know and love them. Pull from these books. They'll have enough movies and stories and TV shows to do for the next 100 years. It's easy peasy. That's my opinion.
Andre?
I will say what I've said before, and I'm pretty much in agreement with you in one thing there, Tom, and that is I think that Star Wars is savable as a franchise. There is life in it, but not as the big blockbuster thing it once was. It used to be the biggest entertainment franchise in the world, and that, I think, is firmly in the past. That I do not see happening again. It's never again going to be the 4-quadrant mass appeal. People are queuing around the block, dressed up in cosplay. No, that's over. That's gone. That's not coming back. What it can be and what it will be is yet another. It's just one other devalued brand. It can be like Babylon 5. It can be like Stargate. It can have that kind of stature. That's the future for it. That it can have. But even for that, it requires a complete change of management. I think that Kathleen Kennedy and her regime is so toxic, so radioactive, that there can be no true healing, no goodwill, so it can't even fully attain Stargate status before they're all gone.
We are the aliens in Independence Day right now.
Yeah.
Unless they get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, there will be no peace.
Yeah. And what can we do to save it? Nothing. This is like an internal thing that has to be done. Honestly, you can do nothing. You're completely powerless. The only tiny little thing that you can do is vote with your wallet. With that, there are two things. One is not supporting the things that you don't like, but here's the most important thing, and that is when there is something that actually is good that you want more of out of, then you have to financially support it, because that's the only way you actually vote with your wallet. If you just withdraw completely, then you have removed yourself from your own sphere of influence. Now you have no influence whatsoever. So you have to be strategic in voting with your wallet. That's the tiny little contribution that you can do. And honestly, your own contribution still means nothing.
Yeah.
But if there are more people like you, then enough people together have consumer power, which is why you still have to vote with your wallet, because then you have the hope that others will do as well, and that may lead to some real change. Whereas if you don't, then forget about it. You have no influence no matter what.
And as we always remind you, if you cancel something, just let them know why, because otherwise it doesn't count. It doesn't mean anything. Even if you may think that they're not going to listen to you, enough people saying the same things, it does eventually add up. And I see a lot of people talk about the Star Trek experience in the chat still. You know, another thing I remember from going a couple years back, even at their worst right now with Star Trek, they had a replica of the original bridge, Andre, and it was beautiful. Even that didn't cost me anything more to go to see. I could walk around it and everything. They let us all walk around real quick. They took pictures and shit in there and everything. It was to scale everything. Even the buttons lit up and everything. The seat was there, the whole shebang. That was more exciting than anything I've seen here. Merlin Zid says it's not an actual cruise, dummies. Like, well, that's true. But it should be for that price. Ty Sloan said,
It would have been better if it was, honestly, because that way you would feel the motion of the boat.
Well, that's
you're supposed to be in a hotel and or in a Star Cruiser, and you're at a stationary ground-based hotel.
Full disclosure, when I first heard about it, that's what I thought it was going to be.
Oh.
I thought it was actually going to be on a boat, like a cruise, like a whole thing, like a whole experience. Like, yeah, like
if you like, then you can you can get a more immersive experience if you get seasick, because that way you just got space sick.
But I thought they did have a cruise that did have, you know, a Star Wars theme on it at some time.
That's possible.
Yeah, they did have that, and people said it was okay. Like I didn't hear, you know, accolades about it, but I heard that it was okay, and that what would happen is when you're on the cruise, they would stop you and say, "Are you a rebel?" You know, or are you part of the rebellion? But that's all I heard. Like I didn't hear anything else happen Star Wars like on that cruise. So.
All right. And then we got Ty Sloan again, who says, could you try to get a Lucasfilm employee on the show or Mark Hamill to debate Star Wars and the direction the franchise is headed? Well, first, as far as Lucasfilm employees, any that I have talked to will not talk on the record because they're definitely afraid they'll get fired.
They do. Yeah, and they're right. They are right. If they talk to us on the record, they're fired. It's as simple as that. So,
yeah, and I think
that's
it's for
kind
any
of like
company
the
that would be
challenge.
the case. You know, they can't just do that.
Most companies, and that is why we would have to get someone higher up first to go clear the way and like show that it's okay.
We've already technically had to deal with this stuff, and that was
we have had to.
Nobody as high profile as that would they ever allow to come on our channel.
Nope, that would be someone would be fired for that. Let's put it this way: when we had the director of a certain Star Trek or a certain Star Trek movies on, Nicholas Meyer, we had him on when he wasn't formally affiliated with the current regime behind Star Trek, and he was pissed at them. That's when we had him on.
Supposedly, we don't know for sure, but
we don't know for sure, but
probably surmise.
Supposedly.
But yeah, as far as Mark Hamill, actually, I believe Echo Base was in talks with him for a while. And I don't know what happened, if it just kind of fell apart or if they're still trying to make that happen or what's going on. But he's a possibility, but again, probably not for us. We are not well beloved at Disney. And we heard
like someone once, there was like someone that we once spoke with. And they were interested, but they had to get clearing from higher up before giving interviews. And then they came back to us and said that the answer was, and I quote, "Hell to the fuck no."
Yeah, one of them. Well, actually, that was two incidences, actually. But one we're not even going to get into, but because it actually works out in the end. But the other one, they told us not only hell to the fuck no, but their reason was because we were known as a misogynistic, racist channel or some shit like that in so many words.
Something like that.
Yeah. So basically, we're on a list.
Well, that was when they created that list a few years ago, and they had like all these channels on there, and they were like, "This channel is racist," but
this was actually before that. But yeah.
Well, yes. In addition to that, let's say.
I think the bigger issue was that we were misogynists more than anything else, but just add "ist" to it, and we were that apparently.
Mm-hmm. But you're not.
Not normally, and I try really hard though. I'm getting better all the time. We got J320 who's in the house and says, more disappointing than previews. Thanks, guys. Yeah, those previews even sold it better than this, and those previews weren't very good at all. This is just I can't believe this is real. Like this feels like a fucking joke. I wish I was making this up and it was like April Fools, guys. Yeah, we made this all ourselves. Because we could probably make this ourselves. That's how shoddy this shit looks. And do it in like no time flat.
It really leaves you speechless, honestly. That's how shocking it is. It's just, I'm speechless. So
that's about where I'm at too. Thank you for that, J320. Then Cardinalson sends in another 20 and says, what would it take for everyone on the panel to go to Disneyland, Disney World, other than chewing your own leg off to escape this trap? It's a trap.
I would go.
I would go to the regular Disney World. Yeah. Like, don't force me to go to this shit though.
Oh, absolutely. Same with me. I'd be very happy to go to Disney World again. Mm-hmm. And I still haven't been to Disneyland in LA because I've been to Euro Disney. I've been to Disney World. I have not been to Disneyland, and I would love to go to Disneyland too. And at some point, I would not mind taking my kids to Disney World. But we won't be going to Galaxy's Edge, nor will we be going to the cruise. That I can tell you right away.
I think Maestro She is right. Come on, Tom, you could do better than that. I think you're probably right. I could probably make something that feels a hell of a lot more like Star Wars, especially if you gave me the kind of budget they should have for the amount that they're charging people. I would come up with a lot cooler shit than that.
Is it the most expensive hotel excursion at Disney right now? Is it?
I gotta imagine. I've never seen anything this expensive like this.
Because I know the Floridian is expensive. It's expensive to stay in some of the hotels and some of the more exclusive ones. So, yeah.
I mean, we joked about hanging out with Kiss earlier. I've actually remember like there's like band camps and other things that you could go to where you actually will see real live rock stars and shit and get to hang out.
Yeah, it's on Uber. I think Uber experiences you can.
Well, there's that, yeah, and it's a lot cheaper than this shit. Like that's what I'm saying. And Andre and I were kidding. Like we probably could call up so many celebrities and be like, "Yeah, here's $2,000," and they'd come hang out with us for a couple hours. Oh, like absolutely. I'd rather do that.
Absolutely.
Get a lot more out of that $2,000, that's for sure. It's just strange. It seems like a joke to me. ActionCom says, which is more embarrassing or criminal, Star Wars Galactic Cruiser or the Fyre Festival?
Oh, the Fyre Festival, hands down.
What is the Fyre Festival?
Yeah.
The Fyre Festival was a exclusive elite rave experience where they charge people thousands of dollars to go to a Caribbean island for a festival. And it was only going to be a select group of people because it was so expensive. And they flew in hundreds of people to this island on the same day that they were having an international yacht race. And people were left stranded on the beach on like in these tents with not enough food, not enough water.
Oh, I remember this now. Yeah.
They had made two mini docs on it, one for Netflix and one for Hulu, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was a complete disaster. There was a rap artist who was associated with it, and it turned out to be a big debacle and just a complete mess. A kerfuffle. There's no other way to describe it, because even to the day of the event, when you knew things were going to fall through and it was a disaster, the organizer was like, no, everything's great, everything's fine, and they promised people gourmet meals, and I think they got like a bologna and Kraft cheese sandwich for their gourmet meal. It was really very sad that people were duped into this, but they were duped, and they were convinced that they were going to have an experience of a lifetime.
Well, it was just not the way that they had imagined.
I'll tell you what, y'all give me $6,000, I'll give you a hell of a lot bigger experience of a lifetime than Disney ever could.
It was a disaster, really, the Fyre Festival. And they brought in people to advertise it, and their advertisement looked amazing. They had supermodels and celebrities who were advertising the festival as if it made it seem like it was going to be the time of your life. And then, of course, when people arrived there and they realized that this was not what they were going to get, and not advertised as promised or delivered as promised, boy, it was pretty bad. It was very, very bad for people.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that now that you bring
And
it
the
up.
people on the island never got paid for all the stuff that they did there either. That was another thing that was detrimental. So I think that the Fyre Festival was much, much worse.
Yeah. And then
Stoney, did you read the Stoney D one, Tom?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second here. Just
I'm sorry.
And Baki's like, oh, Tom, do tell. Well, $6,000, if I got that from a bunch of people, hell, we put on one hell of a fucking party.
It would be
I'll tell
great.
you that right now.
I'd have to show up for that one, Tom.
That's for sure. Stony D in the house says, happy Friday. It's hilarious catching a childish amateur cosplay sketch with characters that no one likes, charging $6,000 a performance. For that cash, I better get a Slave Leia happy ending.
Well, that's what I was saying. If it was an adult, if this was an adult experience, I would say, oh, that's what it is. Okay, never mind. You just show up. But this is not even that, they're not going into that realm of experience. But I would pay, like if it was a more immersive adult style experience, yes. But for that show, that whatever it is, it's just so thrown together. I just can't even believe that they're advertising this as something that they're proud of. That's what's kind of hard to wrap your head around. Compared to what they normally would produce. So.
Indeed. And then we have Larry in the house who says, without respect, we reject. No respect for OG Star Wars. Indeed. Yeah, there was like nothing there that looked OG Star Wars hardly, even though there's a couple characters here and there, but that's about it. They don't even look like Star Trek, says Mr. Tickle Trunk. Child's Morning Show looked more like, yeah, you got a point there, like worse than Power Rangers. Look at the captain, for instance. Keep feeling she's going to sing the ABC.
Yeah, but something, you kind of he makes a good point, and you all make a good point about this. It's like I can go on to Amazon and buy an outfit that looks more authentic to this type than what they're wearing, and it's really recycled whatever they got. And that, honestly, that Kylo outfit, that's no excuse for that. It should be a taller
Walmart
person.
level.
And, it should be a man who has a little bit more confidence as he's standing. Like he's probably a teenage kid who's in that costume. You need to get somebody who's a little more mature and has a little bit more aggression towards Rey, so that it feels like, what we actually know the fight to be like, or at least their interaction, so to speak.
And how is the voice not pre-recorded anyway? It sounds bad. It sounds worse than, like I said, Shredder in that old Ninja Turtles rock show. It is bad because that's like 1980s vocal change fucking level shit. Doesn't sound anything like him. But anyway, yeah, you're not wrong there, Mr. Tickle Trunk. And we got Master Clockwork again, who says, "Let me know when there's a Narshada experience."
Mm.
You got Arn's attention there. Shum says for 4K, an Ultimate Kiss VIP ticket for their final tour. There you go. See, we were right. You had $2,000 to spend, Andre. To
You
spare.
see there? Yeah, well, and that's for the entire band.
We were damn close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could get the Gene Simmons experience for like 2K. But I'm seriously, you have like.
Yeah, we were about right on.
It's a real thing. An evening with Stallone, an evening with Schwarzenegger, an evening with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like, these are
I
real
would
things.
totally hang out with Sylvester Stallone. That would be fucking sweet.
Yeah, it would be.
Hey, yo, I'm going to tell you a couple stories, and then we're going to spar. Ding, ding.
He's going to knock you out. I mean, he
That's-
does. Like,
That's an
like,
experience for $6,000. I got knocked out by Rocky.
Yeah, I mean, you have like this video of Michael B. Jordan that he had to be like decked by an actual heavyweight boxer as preparation for the role, because that's something that Stallone insists on. You're going to do this, we're going to do it the real freaking way.
That's right. Part of the experience, I'm going to knock you
that
out.
video is actually on the YouTube, and you can tell he's not that good an actor that he was able to fake that.
You see this? You get a picture taken and everything so you could commemorate it and show your friends.
Yeah. You
See,
get
like,
to-
look,
to-
this is where Sly knocked my ass out.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That
I
would
mean,
be
I
pretty
kind of,
cool.
I think that his impact with, let's say, just even the Rambo series has had more of a cultural effect and is significant. I mean, I
Across
know
the world, yes.
Yes,
absolutely. I mean, as for me, if I had to choose, like, which one is the more influential, I'd go with Rambo any day. Over
And there's
Rocky.
and not to objectify him too much, but it's going to sound like I'm objectifying him, but it's too late now. He was in such great shape during those films, and there was like one part where he's being held prisoner, and I can't remember why they're holding him this way, but he's being held prisoner and he doesn't have a shirt on, of course, right? And you can see his muscle tone. He's in spectacular physical condition, and I'm like, wow.
Was this in First Blood, the original one?
I think so, yeah. It was like that one scene where they kind of have him restrained, and he's kind of breathing there, and they're really like, I was thinking they were going to try and kill him or really hurt him in that scene, but you can see him, like his physical condition is excellent, and I think part of his appeal is his physical condition. So I think he does a good job in maintaining that, through the years, and really kind of showing us just how spectacular he can maintain himself. It had to be part of that. He had to be in shape. He couldn't sort of like be out of shape and do that film, right?
Oh, he started juicing after the first one. He got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, especially by the time of Rambo 3. That was like when he was at his absolute biggest.
They couldn't even fit him on the poster. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, for $6K, you can get Christopher Walken to narrate your day. It was a good day.
Well, he's done like these evenings with him and Al Pacino and De Niro. They've all done it.
Yeah.
I don't know the price, but it's less than $6,000.
You're gonna take a piss. I would love having Pacino. Actually, like even better would be like.
But like for a night out for $6,000, there's a lot you can do.
Tom heard the alarm, but he didn't want to get up. He knew Andre would be upset. I wish Marlon Brando was still alive. He can narrate all day.
Now that's something I think I might pay for. Oh goodness!
I can't even say her name. I really don't. She woke up in the morning and she had this beautiful bagel. That's all I could think about the rest of the day. Like I want another bagel. Oh Lord Almighty! And then ActionCom says, "No. For $6K, get Andre's vocal soul brother Werner Herzog to narrate." Yeah,
that would be pretty sweet. I'd love to have Werner
I can't
Herzog
even do
narrate
a
the
Werner
video.
Herzog, really.
I want to see the baby.
Yeah, I know,
The
right?
child.
Andre's Day started. I can't even do a C. Yeah, it'll end up turning into like Dracula or some shit. Mr. Tickle Truck again says 5K Rita Celebrity Entertainment Booking Agency. Yes.
Mhm.
Mikey could probably get us a few. Tennille says Dr. Toy's creep van is part of the experience. Only makes sense because Florida. Oh yeah, and they even probably give you some candy to boot. Shorty story, sorry, says Star Trek experience was amazing. You line up for a ride, but then the lights go out. When the lights come on, you've been beamed aboard the Enterprise. Yes, that's awesome. See, and that didn't take nothing, right? Like,
Mhm.
didn't cost you $6,000. So I'm saying you could. It's like basically a haunted house experience, right? You just do it in a sci-fi setting. Like, that's why I wish Culture was here. He could tell you how you could do this on minimal and still make it a hell of an experience, because this is the kind of thing he does as a hobby. He does like haunted houses and shit like that. So he'd tell you exactly how you could do this and make it fun. Mr. Tickle Trunk says for 6K, 3 beds villa at Mirage Hotel for 48 hours. That's a huge villa.
Wow.
That's probably bigger than the entire room that fucking bingo hall's in.
And you probably have like all the alcohol you want, as many people in there as you want. Like you could just have the biggest party ever, I'm sure.
Probably. Did we lose Andre?
Did we?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
I was
Just,
checking because I thought Rod Thunderheart said he sent a member chat, so I'm looking for it.
Mhm.
I'm not seeing it for some reason yet, but still catching up here. I really wish that StreamYards would get these member chats on here. That'd be nice.
That would be
I
very
don't
good.
understand why that's not on there.
They're not in there at all. It's not. They don't even show up as regular chats at all. Like,
Mhm.
which is weird because like if somebody signs on as a member, that shows up. I am
Right.
not seeing a member chat at all here. Where the heck?
Would it show up in the regular chat?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for here.
Okay.
But my regular chat only goes so far back. Shit.
Yeah.
Let me see if they got it in the mod group. Let me see here. Not yet. Shit. Well, if you got what you said, Mr. Tickle or Rod Thunderheart, please just send it to me and we'll get to that. Ty Sloan says maybe the games can save the Star Wars Fallen Order was a good game and got great reviews online. Also, KOTOR not being woke may be a good thing recently. It's just different departments, perhaps, but I get what you're. It's good to be optimistic, I guess. I haven't really played the game, so I can't really comment too much on them. But have you played them at all, Autumn?
I haven't played it, but I've watched the walkthroughs, and yeah, I suppose it is a good thing recently. I know that Jedi Fallen Order also was not woke, so that was a good thing as well. But games wise, when it comes to Star Wars games, we haven't been getting what we were promised either. But hopefully that'll change.
Well, hope springs
Indeed.
eternal, I guess.
Then Kai Sloan sends in another $4.99. Thank you so much. Says, do you think Hayden coming back as Vader to fight Obi-Wan will shock the world? Heck yeah. Or will it be pointless and just a shot to the heart for us? Well, Ty Sloan, this is the $1 million question. And I've said right now, Obi-Wan is kind of make it or break it for Star Wars at this point, because Mandalorian is one thing, but Obi-Wan is a big level event as far as I'm concerned. And if this doesn't generate any kind of interest in Star Wars, then I think that's pretty much a gauge as to where Star Wars is at right now. Because you can't get pretty much any closer to OG Star Wars outside of, Luke Skywalker than with Ewan McGregor playing Obi-Wan Kenobi and Hayden Christensen coming back as Vader. Like, those two things I think are, if those aren't enough to get fans back on board and a bunch of people watching the show, then it truly is dead. really. But as far as like, will it be good or not? I don't know. I hope it's good. I've been hearing mixed things from different people. Will it shock the world? If it's good, yes. If it's bad, it's going to just be, like you said, another shot to the heart for us. They're going to have to really give me a good reason for those two to have to face each other again before A New Hope. I'm really going to have a good reason. So, what do you think, Arun?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think it would be a disaster if they mess this one up. If this doesn't go down right, if it's seen disrespectful or, you know, kind of like belittling either character, it's just going to be such a detriment and really hurt, you know, everybody. I think at this point, I don't even know whether I'm that concerned about the franchise per se. I'm more concerned with how everybody feels about this stuff, because we certainly don't want to see things that are out of character from these two particular characters. And we've already seen what can happen when things kind of shift out of character for an OG character. Honestly, it doesn't go over well. So, you know, they need to focus on, you know, doing things that seem, you know, appropriate for the character. And as long as they do that and they want to introduce something new, that's fine. But it can't be something, you know, that would be perceived as not being appropriate for either Vader or for Obi, or at least in this case, whatever you want to call him, Dark Anakin, whatever point they bring him back in.
Right.
It can't be that way. It has to be appropriate. And I'm just hoping it will be. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. We have till May. I didn't like the initial poster that they had to advertise it, with him sort of like walking in the desert. And I thought to myself, well, yes, of course he's going to be on Tatooine. We know that, but that wasn't exactly the kind of poster that you would expect, at least for me, that would excite me about the series going forward. I already know he's there. Yes, I know he's there. And, you know, it's windy and there's sand there, but, you know, I think they could have given us something a little bit more insightful, and, you know, they didn't do that with that poster. So that was not great, but the trailer looked very interesting and it had a lot going on. And I promised myself I wasn't going to try and dissect the trailer right now. I just wanted to look at it. It looks good, and leave it alone, because if I start to get too much into the details, I might start to speculate about stuff that may not even be true. So, so I'm just waiting and praying that it's going to be good.
That's kind of where I'm at too, Andre.
I think it has the potential to be as bad as Picard, because there you take out one of the big guns. Now, this is a big gun that can really help, or it can really, really hurt. As Tom said, we've been hearing like somewhat mixed things. I hope, for the sake of Star Wars and the fans, that those mixed but positive are more accurate to reality. Because if they're not, if this is like another dud, then it's going to be an extremely high-profile dud. I mean, Hayden Christensen, that's something that you bring out when you really want to make something better. You bring that out, and it isn't good. You do so much damage.
I'll give you an example. Boba Fett. Like, there was expectations going into Boba Fett. Mandalorian, there wasn't expectations. There is huge expectations going into this.
And with expectations, that's when you can screw up. I mean, like, if The Mandalorian had failed, who would have cared? Because no one really cared in the first place. As it was, it turned out to be like a silver lining against the backdrop of the sequel trilogy. But and it actually created expectations going forward. And that's why Boba Fett was so disappointing. People cared, and they cared more because of The Mandalorian. Now, Boba Fett, in the end, didn't win as many people over. Didn't really make any waves. The worst thing that can happen then is if this series comes out and it's bad. It brings out the big guns needed to make things better, and it makes them worse. Nothing would be worse than that.
Yeah, and something else that they did with that I'm still bewildered by with the Book of Boba Fett is just the marketing at the end of The Mandalorian season 2. And, you know, like I don't care what anybody says, that scene seemed very aggressive, and it seemed like, you know, a Boba Fett that would be doing things like that. If the one thing you're showing us is him shooting somebody on a throne, and then pushing his body to the ground, and then he sits on the throne. It's like, that's not treating anybody with respect. That's certainly a more aggressive move for an individual. He killed somebody. Let's just be honest about what we're visually seeing. And so I can understand how people were expecting to see more aggressive behavior from the character. So by the time the series rolled up, and the sense was that it was going to be a pacifist individual, that was kind of a surprise. And they could have just gone ahead and given us another trailer where he says, I don't want to kill anymore, and then you would be like, oh, what do you mean he doesn't want to kill anymore? At least plug something or let people know what's going on. But it was a surprise and a shock to the community. People were expecting a much more aggressive Boba. They didn't get it. And, they still feel like they were promised something from that initial teaser, that end credit scene. So I can understand how people feel about that one.
Yeah. Merlin Zid says Tom and Andre would make a better Star Wars experience with a rented out Airbnb and some glow sticks. You're probably not wrong.
Well, we'd certainly make it a whole hell of a lot more fun.
That's for goddamn sure.
Of course, if we had like the option to do like a complete free thing, I'd do better than some Star Wars experience.
That's what I'm saying, is like, even with just a little bit, we could probably do better with some fucking lights and a PA system and some, just some fucking random Christmas lights and shit.
I think I would bring in the guys from like the 501st Legion, who already have all the costumes and stuff ready, or at least a good portion of costumes and things ready, and make it like a nonprofit thing. And you could come in there and have as immersive experience as you want, with other people who have incredible costumes and know the characters and are committed to having a certain level of quality in what they're showing other people. So I think that for them, it's more important for them to have the accuracy with the characters and what they're portraying, and people would enjoy that. That's what they want to see. They want to see the level of quality in what they're paying for. And I think you would get that more from the 501st right now than anywhere else.
Yeah, and then Tennille says, watch the Internet Historian for a recap. All right. Shotgun Fringe says Star Wars and Star Trek peaked decades ago. Anything we get now is an imitation, if I could talk. Now is time for new ideas and new stories to be created. You're not wrong, Shotgun Fringe. You're not wrong at all.
Yeah, we're all looking for that.
Mecha J says watching paint dry looks more fun than this Star Wars Cruiser video. Yeah. I was fighting to fucking stay awake if it wasn't so funny. Merlin's Id says, I disagree. I think this is way worse than Fyre Festival. Simply put, the Fyre Festival is simply a matter of bad management and logistics. What Disney is doing is actual cultural vandalism.
Well, there's a point to that.
Yeah, that's true.
Not only that, I'm sure at least some people behind the Fyre Festival really went in with good intentions, and they probably realized they were in over their heads.
Mm-hmm. And
with that title, I'm just thinking Burning Man, but that's probably much more fun.
Well, it's very similar, except Burning Man is more of something that people work months and months to create these wonderful art figures, and then they burn them. And, it's like there's a lot of investment. And so, Burning Man is a well-known festival, an international festival in a sense, because so many people go to Burning Man, and it's a spiritual release. There's actually, artistic expression in it. And, a lot of people invest a lot of time and money for Burning Man. So I think that Burning Man has kind of earned its place as a respectable type of event. But Fyre was completely new, and no one had heard about it before. It was completely brand new. So it was a one-off event. I guess maybe they thought they would have done it every year if they could have pulled it off. But there was no chance of them pulling off what they were promising people. So,
well, even just compare this to other things that are in Disney, right? Like going through they have animatronic things and all kind of things all over the park. I don't see any of that here. There's nothing cool here about this. It's all very simplified, cheap ass bullshit. I just don't understand. If I actually had a situation where people give me $6,000 per person or per family, okay, you could set up a big cruise thing and have a bunch of A-list bands and shit. And still wind up making yourself a hell of a profit. This is just highway fucking robbery.
It is highway robbery. That's what my mother said, actually, when I told her how much it would cost. And she's like, that's highway robbery. So yes, you're right.
But yeah, you got a point here, Merlin's in some ways. I agree with you. JP Doer, excuse me, says the Star Trek experience was far superior. You would pay $200 a night at the LV Hilton,
That's
and the
where it
experience was
was.
free. Yep, that's what I thought. Yep.
Mhm.
And from what I've heard from people, yeah, and I've seen some videos and stuff before from it too, and I've seen some bits and pieces of it, like I said. Blue Satoshi, you should check out Internet Historian's vid on Fyre Festival. All right.
Yes, thank you.
That might be one I've seen, actually. That might be why I know about it. I know I saw it on some video or something somewhere before. Tennille says, I'd pay to watch Stallone place a complicated food order at a restaurant and then see how much would come out different from the intended order. Better yet, Schwarzenegger. Actually, Schwarzenegger would probably get it all right. Sly would probably. Sly is probably more sophisticated than you give him credit for, though. He probably would get it right too. Rocky is all a character, but that would be kind of funny as a skit to Neil. I agree with you. Aiken is here and says for $6K you can spend 2 weeks in Bali, Indonesia, in a private villa in a higher end area of Seminyak. Am I saying that right? Seminyak?
I don't know. I don't know how that's how it's
I don't
pronounced,
know.
but it sounds like a wonderful trip.
Yeah, it's you get far more for your money that way. Let's put it that simple.
Gladiator says, why is Drunk 3PO bragging about taking this time slot? He says he will be streaming more during this time. Seems very disrespectful. Oh, well. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, ask him. So yeah.
Guess you'd have to ask him.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And then we have Tennille, who says Burning Man, more the sense of Midsummer.
Yeah,
I know,
that's what I think is appealing about it.
Yeah. And then we got Dr. Coffin Nails, who said they should just have Obi-Wan fight Darth Maul again. It was kind of teased in Solo. That's funny because I thought that's what was going to happen, to be honest with you. When I heard Hayden Christensen, I'm like, what? That doesn't really make much sense. But, yeah. And I don't know if it'd be a flashback because we haven't really, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know if people will like that or not. I mean, maybe.
We've been seeing a lot of flashbacks.
True. I was going to say, yeah.
So flashbacks kind of, it would make sense that that's what they might show.
And Andre, can you bring the super chats up on your end?
Yeah, sure.
Kitty Bear says we missed his, and I don't remember seeing one from him.
Kitty Bear, yeah, okay, give me 1 second here.
So please check that out.
Yeah, I'll check it out, see if I find.
Because otherwise, we're caught up on.
Let's see here. Kitty Bear. Yeah, don't everyone talk all at once.
Yeah, no kidding, right? But anyway, while we're waiting for that,
here I found it.
Okay, go ahead. I was gonna say we had a member chat from Rod Thunderheart.
Yeah.
I got that one. So
yeah, Kitty Bear. He wonders for €5. How would Andre pronounce Friesland Boppe? I have no idea what the Friesland Boppe is, but that's how I would pronounce it.
I don't know what it is either. I'm sorry.
sounds foreign to me.
It sounds kind of Swedish-ish, but yeah, I don't know what it is, but that's how I'd say it. Whether I know what it is or not.
You probably just raised a Cthulhu.
I do that so often that.
And then I got to do this elf line for Master Clockwork. There are many things in this universe you're not meant to understand. Now, that doesn't mean they're not real. I'm real. And whether people believe it or you or not, you know I'm real. It was a good episode. I remember that one. Then Ram Bam 3000 in the house says Burning Man was a spiritual, I think, experience until it was brought out and turned into a playground for rich hipsters. Isn't that kind of like how these things usually go, though?
Oh, that sometimes is the way. That sometimes is the way, isn't it? I've also heard something like that it's not what it once was, but I've never been there, so I couldn't say. I'd be curious to see how it's going to be in the next few years.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, you can go online and see it now and see pictures of people taking photographs with these structures that were built. It's supposed to be like a spiritual experience, and you make these pieces of artwork that are incredible, and you're there for a while. It's not sort of like 1 or 2 days or anything like that, helping someone construct this incredible piece, which gets destroyed at the end. But I think there was more of a celebrity push to being there and just capitalizing on how unusual these pieces of artwork are. And they did it to promote themselves. It wasn't really for the art.
Yeah, if one can do art and self-promotion at the same time with special emphasis on self-promotion, then what's better than that?
Looks like Ray Fernandez missed the beginning of the show. Yeah, Elf's coming back, but it looks like in a limited capacity through Shout Factory. But Paul Fusco is in charge, so we'll see how that goes. SDR Red Wolf sent in another super chat and says, I quote from Matthew Ebels, "Normal is not for me. I've seen things you wouldn't believe, and I believe things you wouldn't see." Like that. The Red Line says, while I spend most of my time working on my channel, I have to say Midnight's Edge is my guilty pleasure, and you guys have a great knowledge of the industry. Well, thank you, Red Lines.
Well, thank
Even
you.
though today was a pretty slow day. It overall didn't turn out too bad, and want to say thank you to everybody who's here. Yeah, it looks like Jay is still live, so if you want to go over there and check him out, that's fine with us. No ill will on our part. If he's throwing any shade on our, that is it.
No shade from our end.
Master Clockwork says, okay, for those that didn't watch Rebels, they already had a rematch between Maul and Obi-Wan. Yeah, I know that, but I'm sure some people would like to see that in live action, and most people didn't watch Rebels. So, yeah, at least like a lot less than even Clone Wars, I think. But yeah, so with that, I think we're gonna wrap things up. Oh, we got the Rod Thunderheart thing. I'm sorry. Are the drinks included? Andre, I think the drinks are included.
You mean are
they get water?
Included? Where?
Yeah, of course. The drinks that you need not to thirst to death, they are included.
Yeah,
the
that's what he's
that
saying.
You need to be able to endure the show, however, are not included.
That's what he was joking about. Yes, when you asked if the drinks were included, yeah.
Yes,
yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, at least you can get some water. That's about it.
Well, I heard people talking about that new development that they're making, and they were saying that they think that they're going to charge the homeowners for parking their cars. And someone had said, how flabbergasted they were to think even the suggestion that you wouldn't be able to park your car on your own in a place you own for free, like even that they're going to charge you for. So I was just curious as to how they would budget expenses going forward, because I sure hope that they would have adult beverages for that price, for a $6,000 price.
If you're stuck in that fucking thing for 2 days, I'd hope so. Cliff's Warlord says there's several Burning Man pieces found in Reno. Proximity gives us some benefits on getting cool stuff. Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Suppose you got to deal with all the smoke, though.
Yeah, and just the sand. Like if you can't handle sand, that's not for you.
Yeah, I don't like sand. It's cars. So go on over to Drunk 3PLs, tell them we sent you, and with that, we're gonna find some marsupials in the rain here. Good night, kid.
Koalas in the rain.